Solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2341. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2341. That's 800-575-2341. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Does it go?
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The one who won't be getting out. I'm Chris Davis. It was a home invasion in 2011 and the attempted robbery of a jewelry store that got 38-year-old Umberto Quixar Figueroa sent to prison for 29 years. And Tuesday, the state parole board denied his first try for parole. Quixar Figueroa and his brother planned the robbery, stalking the owner of a jewelry store and his family for 6 days, then busted in on the family, guns drawn, and forced the guy to drive them to the store. Other people who were in the house called police and foiled the plot. The parole board says they're still not satisfied that he's no longer a threat. If you live in an area just south of Rosedale Highway, you might have gotten a pamphlet with a ballot on it. That ballot is whether you want to pay $19 extra on your property taxes every year to keep the street lights going. That already costs about $28 per year, but that is no longer enough to cover what PG&E is charging the county. The votes will all be counted at the January 6th Board of Supervisors meeting. Medical unavailability is the reason lawyer William Charles Wright gave the court for not showing up for 2 planned hearings in his DUI case. He's accused of driving at over twice the legal limit back on December 14th, hitting a highway patrol car at a checkpoint at Callaway Drive and Brimhall Road, and hurting an officer. The judge said she'll take that excuse for now, but he'd better get a doctor's excuse to her by next week, which is when the next scheduled hearing is. Megyn Kelly, the host of the Megyn Kelly Show podcast, is coming to Bakersfield tomorrow in place of Charlie Kirk for a sold-out show that also includes conservative commentator Victor Davis Hanson, Charlie Sheen, and a Republican who's running against Governor Gavin Newsom, Steve Hilton. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get up close like this. Bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
We're taking the afternoon off. It's a beautiful day for a ball game. Today.
Love that music, Chris. Hi, everybody. This is Teri Goldner, and I am not Ralph Bailey, as you can tell, but welcome to the Ralph Bailey Show. Ralph is gone today. We know he's not at a ball game, but we do know he's at a funeral. And so he's asked me to step in for him today, and I'm really happy to do that. Please be kind to me. This is only my second time to do this for 3 hours, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, in getting ready for today's show, I took a cue from Ralph, and I actually got up really early, and I went and looked at all the newspapers that I could online, including the New York Times, the Washington Post, the LA Times, the Wall Street Journal, anything I could get my hands on, including the Bakersfield Californian, because I wanted to know what was happening out there so we could talk about it. And, you know, my bent is really, as a retired judge and former county counsel, my bent is really legal issues. So I was kind of looking for some of that. And we've talked about these things on the air in the last couple of days, but one of the issues that I found really intriguing, of course, is that Congress has approved the bill to release the Epstein files. I know that Ralph and I talked about it briefly yesterday, and JR talked about it on his show. My take on this is that the bill itself is a very raw bill. It's only a few pages long. It's almost triple spaced, and it has a lot of holes in it. And some of the holes in it are legal holes. And one of the biggest legal holes that I see in it is that you have Congress ordering the Department of Justice and the Attorney General to release records related to investigations or decisions not to investigate people or decisions not to file charges against people when there was nothing there. So when law enforcement investigates something and they find out that there really is nothing there, it's a big giant nothing burger, they don't release their investigative files concerning that because, whoops,
Uh-oh.
sorry about that.
You're fine. It happens.
Sorry about that. That was my daughter calling me.
Oh, wow.
Chris knows my daughter.
Poor timing.
So I'm sorry about that. So typically you don't release the files because it injures that person's reputation. Just being affiliated with an investigation like something that happened in the Epstein matter would probably destroy someone's reputation, not only their reputation, but also perhaps their businesses. And that's I think, the most important reason for the Attorney General to be very circumspect about the files that she releases. And I honestly don't think she's going to release all the files that a lot of people are saying that she is. I think she's going to hold quite a bit back because I think she's going to recognize her, I guess you could call it an ethical responsibility, not to smear somebody that is being investigated where turns out there really wasn't anything there. So I hope that she does that. And then there's another problem that I saw with the bill that was signed, or it hasn't been signed yet, but sent over to the president for signature. And that is that it violates what we call the separation of powers under the Constitution. And, you've got the three branches of government, and we have the executive branch, which is, of course, the president heads up the executive branch, and the Department of Justice is within the executive branch. And then you have Congress, which is the legislative branch, and then you have the judiciary, the judicial branch. Here you have Congress telling the executive branch what to do, telling them release files, provide certain documents, put it on the websites, put it on your website, make it searchable, do all these things. I don't believe that Congress has the authority to do many of the things that are in the bill. And some of the things that it tells the Attorney General to do that I don't think Congress has the right to do is to declassify information. Only the president, really, the president can declassify anything that he wants to, but there's a whole federal process for declassifying information. And we saw a lot of that when we discussed the Mar-a-Lago records case last year and the year before. A lot goes into it, and there's a lot of laws and procedures and regulations that relate to it. But Congress can't just willy-nilly on a vote like that tell the executive branch, we're not going to declassify all those documents and turn them over. That's not the way it works. Congress doesn't have that kind of authority. So those are the two biggest ones that I see: separation of powers, and then just kind of going over the line with throwing the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, by requiring all kinds of information to be released when it could harm a lot of people who are innocent and haven't done anything wrong. So I hope that Attorney General Bondi and her assistant, Mr. Todd Blanche, I hope that they do the right thing and withhold the documents that need to be withheld. There was another thing that I saw in there, and I talked to Ralph about it briefly, and that is it gives Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, the right to redact certain things. And we talked about, I think JR talked about redacting people's names so that they won't be hurt. The victims' names, you don't want to have those coming out there. That's a good thing. Of course, you want to do that. But the bill also says that whenever Attorney General Bondi redacts something, she has to file a written justification, a summary with an explanation of, without disclosing it, kind of describing it a little bit, what she redacted. And redacting means to white it out or black it out, put a marking pen over it, and why she redacted it and why it's appropriate to redact it. And it has to be a justifiable statement of redaction. And the problem is there's nobody to judge what is justifiable or not. Lawyers can write anything that they want to justify anything, depending on which side of the table that you're on. But who is the one to decide those kinds of issues? If the member of the public wants to come in and say that's not justifiable, well, they don't have standing under federal law to come into federal court and claim that their rights have been violated and file a lawsuit to force the non-redaction of certain things. So that's the third issue that I see that's wrong with that, it is a problem with that bill. So I would be very surprised if the Attorney General releases all these documents the way that the bill wants her to. I think she's going to obviously release a lot of them. If I were her, and this is just the way I think about it, given the fact that these records have been with the Department of Justice now for years, I think for at least 4 years or more, and nothing has been said about them, and the Democrats didn't make a stink about them during the 4 years prior. It's only now because I think they want to hurt President Trump with it. If I were Attorney General Bondi, and this is just me just being strategic, I would release the files first on all the Democrats whose names are in the files. If they want to play that game, they can certainly release those records first, and then you'll see people start screaming and squeaming, and we'll see what happens then. But I think that would be a very interesting way to handle it, although maybe it's not a fair way to do it, but you can certainly start there if she wants to. Maybe I'll send her an email and suggest that she do that. Another thing that I saw in the news this morning that I thought was really interesting was they talked about how President Trump had that bilateral meeting with the Saudi prince yesterday. And I did watch that. I watched it in the morning yesterday when he was the two chairs in the White House and they have the talk there. Did anybody else watch it? What I noticed when I was watching it was that the Saudi prince had a smile on his face almost the entire time. And it was kind of like I don't know, it was sort of like one of those, is it the cat that ate the mouse kind of thing, or the mouse that ate the cat? I always get my sayings wrong, but it was one of those kind of smirky kind of smiles, where it's like, kind of like he and President Trump had a secret that they didn't want to tell anybody. That was just kind of the impression that I got from the way that he was smiling. And I can't say that I've ever seen a world leader kind of look at a president like that in a meeting like that before.
Do you mean this in a good way or a bad way? Do you think that there's something that he knows that maybe the American people should?
I think he knows a lot that the American people should know that he's not going to tell us.
That's fair.
And that's what I think it is. I think it's like, we're not going to tell them what's going on here.
I know something you don't know kind of thing.
And if you get a chance, go back and look at that, because the body language on that just shouts that to me, at least.
Really?
So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. Another thing that I saw in the New York Times was that the United States is going to provide a $1 billion loan to restart the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant. I think that's huge. Everybody remember 3 Mile Island and the disaster that created? There were so many lawsuits over that so many years ago. The Trump administration is actually granting a $1 billion loan to revive the facility, and it's actually in Pennsylvania, and they want to make a push towards a more nuclear energy work there. That's really interesting to me. I think you're going to see a whole lot more lawsuits related to that if they want to do that. Do anyone remember the movies that were made about 3 Mile Island? I don't remember if it was, I can't remember if it was Meryl Streep or Jane Fonda. One of them was, they were the main actress in the movie. But there were many, many, many lawsuits and the topic of a lot of discussions. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was, I'm getting a signal from Chris. I'm not sure what that means. Okay.
I was just letting you know we have a caller has a question for you.
Oh, I would love to take the call. And I love calls. If anybody has any calls, call me. I'm happy to talk about anything today.
Caleb is on the line for you.
Hi, Caleb. How are you?
Hey, Teresa. How are you? Good to hear from you.
Oh, thank you. Are you a regular listener of the Ralph Bailey Show?
Only about 15 years, since I was in high school.
Oh, okay. Okay, can I ask you a high school question? What year did you graduate?
It's been a long time since.
What year did you graduate from high school? What year did you graduate? Caleb, are you there?
2008.
Okay. You're a baby. You're a baby. You're not that old. So what is your question?
Yeah, I was wondering if you can kind of break down in layman's terms what's going on with this James Comey indictment. I read that, there's some grand jury irregularities going on. And so I'm just wondering, you have such a great way of breaking it down in layman's terms. having all this knowledge. I'm wondering if you can kind of share what's going on.
Well, I don't have a lot of details on that. I do know that there is a motion to dismiss that's pending before the court right now, filed by James Comey's lawyers. And I think the motion to dismiss has to do with the way that the charges have been pled in the indictment, and that even if you take all those as true, that they really don't constitute a crime. And that's really about all I know about that, Caleb. But I'm happy to go and research that and tell you a little bit more about it, maybe on Tuesday when I come back and talk with Ralph again. But I think I have a feeling that motion is actually going to get granted. It's just my instinct. What do you think?
Yeah, I was reading that it turns out that the grand jury was not shown the full indictment prior to the charges being filed. So
right, they didn't have all the evidence in front of them. Actually, they didn't have exculpatory evidence in front of them. They only had incriminatory evidence in front of them. And that's not how grand juries are supposed to work. Whether that's how grand juries actually operate in the real world, that's a different story. In federal court, grand juries are, they're sequestered. They go on for an entire year. If you get on a federal grand jury, you'll be up in Fresno for a whole year. And all the grand juries in federal court do is criminal matters. They don't do any civil matters like the Kern County grand jury does. But they will hear evidence that is presented to them by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And typically that evidence is going to be presented by law enforcement officers, someone from the FBI or the DEA, agents like that. And they pick and choose what they want to present to the grand jury. And they are very effective at getting grand jury indictments issued. In fact, they typically don't bring an indictment, don't even ask to go to the grand jury until they have dotted all of their I's and crossed all their T's. And in federal court, I don't know if you've looked at the statistics lately, but the prosecutors have a very high conviction rate in federal court, higher than in state court. And I think that's because they really work their cases really hard before they bring them. They want to make sure that they have it, what's that saying, dead to rights, before they actually try to seek a complaint against somebody or an indictment against somebody. But in this case, if they didn't present if they presented an unbiased view and there was evidence out there that directly contradicted the evidence that they actually presented, I think the judge can grant that motion if the judge wants to. And I think that this judge is pretty suspicious of the prosecution in this case, just based on some of the comments that the judge has made that's been reported in the media. I don't think the judge is happy at all with the prosecution. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Thanks for your perspective on the matter. It's always appreciated. I really enjoy listening to you every Tuesday, and have a great rest of the show.
Oh, thank you, Caleb. I appreciate it. If anybody else has any questions that you want to call and ask me about, that was something I wanted to mention, was at the end of the show, I'll have an hour, usually maybe 40 minutes, where I can take any calls. Anybody wants to ask me any legal questions about anything. I can tell you what I think about things, and I think about a lot of things. Some people tell me that I know a whole lot about a whole lot. I think I know a whole little about a whole lot, but I do keep up with the law. I do keep up with what's going on. I have a background in the federal court system, and I also have a background in the state court system, and I used to be the county counsel as well. So I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has, but just remember, I can't be your lawyer and you can't be my client. We're going to take a break now, and we'll come back in a few minutes.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Coming up on the Thursday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, the aftermath of the Epstein transparency release we'll discuss. Also, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, perhaps America's best governor, talking to us about the big property tax kerfuffle, and also Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin on FBI reform. That's all coming up on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The holidays have descended on us. I literally saw someone
so we're going to get Jeff on the phone
driving home with a Christmas tree. And where would you rather be during the holidays than at KC Steakhouse? Great place to take out of state guests or out of county guests. family, your in-laws, people that are going to be visiting during either Thanksgiving or Christmas. And I know that Cassie Bill has something special for both those holidays. So be ready to hear about that in the coming days. But of course, you all voted it the best steakhouse in town, the Bakersfield, California poll, and the best ambiance as well. But don't forget about the Stockyard. I'm glad to hear that some folks are telling Cassie that they heard about it from this show. It is a great way to end the night. Go next door, have one of the craft cocktails, hear some live music on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday nights. Where would you rather be than on F Street in the capable hands of Cassie Biddle's incredible staff at KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Text help for help. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing? You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications that are all over the news, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. And if you qualify, you can get medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1s at 80 to 90% savings without insurance, all 100% online.
Wait, I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No long wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, for 80 to 90% less and shipped direct to your door.
Amazing. How do I get started?
Just send them a text.
Text SLIM to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less, 100% online. Don't wait. Text SLIM to 797979 right now for your exclusive offer. Text SLIM to 797979. That's SLIM to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. November 25th, Dignity Health Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com and AXS.com. Don't miss this season's most exciting concert experience. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you joined us after the first part. And now we're going to have a few minutes before we take another break. You know, one of the cases that I looked at this morning that I want to talk about later today that to me is so intriguing is a defamation case. And it is it hasn't been filed yet, but it's a defamation case that President Trump has threatened to file against, you're not going to believe this, the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. It's a wild case. It's a crazy case, and it's got a lot of really interesting legal issues in it. It's going to be a tough case for President Trump to win, but it's worth talking about. And so I really enjoy the First Amendment laws. I really enjoy defamation. Defamation is when defamation is when somebody publishes something, says something, or writes something false about somebody else, and it damages their reputation or their business. And in this case, President Trump is complaining about a documentary and the way that it was spliced up, and he claimed that it hurts his reputation. And so he said he was going to sue them for $1 billion. That's B. Now he's changed it to up to $5 billion. And his lawyers are talking as though they think they have a dead bang winner of a case. I'm not so sure. And so that's one of the things I want to talk about later if we have time. I want to talk a little bit about our guests that we're going to have today. I have a really good show for you today. Our first guest is going to be somebody who's from Bakersfield. He was raised in Bakersfield. He doesn't live in Bakersfield now, but he went on to play professional baseball and was really good at it. And I thought he has a very compelling story. I think he's a very interesting person. and I want you all to meet him.
Now, you know everybody's going to have the same question, Teresa.
What's that question?
Is this the elusive boyfriend that we have heard about that played professional ball?
My lips are sealed, Chris.
Okay, come on now.
But he's a really great person, and I know that you'll enjoy talking to him. And I can't wait to ask him a whole bunch of questions. Maybe I could ask him some embarrassing questions, but I don't think I want to do that because I want to be nice, or he might not ever come on the show and talk to me again. So I got to do that.
You ever not nice? Come on, Teri.
No, I'm always nice. I always try to be nice. I'll try. As my daughter says, I will do my best to try. And I'm not sure that means anything at all, but
probably not. But
that's kind of a saying in our house.
Doing your best. That's all that anybody could ask for.
Thank you very much. So our other guest we're going to have tonight is this afternoon. We're going to have Howard Marcus. He's one of the regulars on Wednesdays for Ralph. And I'm so excited that Howard is willing to come on with me. And we've got some really fun things to talk about. One of the things I want to talk about with Howard is him and his background. He is a fascinating person. He has had an amazing career. And, when Ralph always introduces him as a federal agent. And I always wondered, what kind of federal agent is he? So we're going to find out what kind of federal agent Howard Marcus is. And then our last guest today is someone that said he would come in, and he's going to. I talked to him last night, and that is Mark Swaim. And Mark Swaim is a businessman. He's a landowner. He's also a bird lover of birds, including peacocks. And so Mark Swaim has gracefully and graciously, and I'm so glad that he has offered to come over to my house and take all of those 8 peacocks that have adopted me and my husband and that poop all over our front porch every single day.
You're not going to keep one of them?
I don't think I wasn't sure about it yesterday, but I think, no, I'm not going to keep it. But hopefully he'll come over maybe next week. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to do this. And Mark will tell us when we come back after the break. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Bernie Bennett. President Donald Trump says he's turning his attention to helping find an end to the brutal civil war in Sudan. Mr. Trump made the declaration on Wednesday when he said he was going to urge to action to Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. President Trump claims to have ended several wars since returning to office and has openly lobbied for the Nobel Prize. But he admitted he hadn't given a lot of thought to the fighting in Sudan until he spoke in detail about the civil war with the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia during White House talks on Tuesday. Mr. Trump said that he was determined to work with the Middle East leaders to end the 2-year-old war. Federal agents have now arrested more than 250 people during an immigration crackdown in North Carolina centered around Charlotte, the state's largest city. Those totals released Wednesday by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, about double the arrest figures announced earlier this week. This is SRN News.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. If you want to learn more about the proposed water park resort called Tortuga Bay Resort, planned for Hageman Road and Mohawk Street, you may be hearing more about that soon. The Bakersfield City Council plans to discuss that proposal this evening. If you live south of Rosedale Highway, you have a choice to make. $19 extra every year on your property taxes could mean the street lights stay on. The county is letting residents decide because PG&E is charging more, and the $28 you are already paying every year is not enough. Megyn Kelly is joined by actor Charlie Sheen and Republican candidate for Governor Steve Hilton at an event tomorrow in Bakersfield. Kelly replaces Charlie Kirk on the bill. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Between all the holiday parties,
Weekend tailgates.
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
We've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
Thursday's Armstrong and Getty show, NVIDIA's quarterly earnings will be out, and that'll be a huge indicator of whether this was an AI bubble or not.
And there's no genocide going on in Gaza, but there are a couple in Africa, plus total change of mood. If you had to stuff parakeets into your underpants, how many do you think you could get in there? 4? We'll answer, 4, please. We'll answer that question next Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Armstrong and Getty Show. Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Okay, we're here after the break. Hold on one moment. Hi, are you there, Jeff?
Yeah, I've been waiting.
Okay, let me pass my cell phone on to the person, our producer, and maybe he can hook you in. He said he was trying to call you.
You might have pushed the wrong number.
Okay, let me give him the cell phone and he can
I'll come get it.
confirm what your number is. How's that?
Okay.
Hold on just one little second. Sorry, everybody. We'll get Jeff on the line in just a minute. There you go. You know, I gave Chris Burdick his phone number to call. I wonder if I gave him the wrong number. That's not good. Sorry about that if I did that. Anyway, so I'm going to continue to talk about the defamation case until we get the next guest on the line. So this case in England is about, in Britain, the UK, is about a documentary that was done a few years ago, and it was broadcast just before the last election. And it sliced different parts of President Trump's speech in Washington, D.C. on January the 6th at the Ellipse. And it actually made it sound like he was inciting violence. And I'll go into the details in just a minute. But when you hear the way they actually sliced it, and then when you hear what he actually said, it's very different, and it really creates a different meaning. And that's what they did. So I think he has the right to be angry about that. The problem is it defamation? And one of the things that you have to have for defamation is you have to show that you've been seriously injured, or that you have suffered a reputational injury or some kind of a financial injury. And in this case, one of the things that the BBC, the defendant, the British Broadcasting Corporation, is saying is that President Trump has not suffered any injuries. Even though they sliced this thing the wrong way, they didn't do it right, they apologized, they sent a letter to the White House apologizing for it, but also saying, we haven't done anything wrong, and we're not going to pay you any money, President Trump. So that's why I think they're going to end up getting sued on this. But one of the reasons why the BBC is saying that President Trump hasn't been damaged is because he won the election. And they aired this thing about, I think it was a couple of months before the election. So if he hasn't been damaged, he really doesn't have any legitimate First Amendment claim. And so that's part of the problem. There's also a statute of limitations issue. If he wants to sue in England, in the UK, he can't, because in England they have a 1-year statute of limitations, and President Trump would have missed the 1-year statute by exactly 1 month. So he can't actually do it there. Do we have Jeff on the line? Very good. Hi, Jeff. Are you there?
This is Jeff Doyle. I'm here, Teri.
Hi, Jeff. Hey, thanks for joining us. How do you feel about being on the radio, Jeff?
I feel great about being on the radio in Bakersfield.
Oh, that's great. So
awesome.
I introduced you a little bit. I said that we knew each other, but I didn't tell anybody how we know each other. Do you want to tell everybody that, and then maybe tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I knew Teri a little bit at West High School, but then we met my junior year, her sophomore year at San Diego State, and I don't know how we met, but we connected somehow, and the rest is history.
And we're friends to this day.
Yeah.
So Jeff, I know that you were raised in Bakersfield. Can you tell us a little bit about your Kern County roots?
My Kern County roots started in 1966 when I was raised in Cuyama, New Cuyama, and we moved to Bakersfield in 1976. And my dad was in the oil business, and my mom hadn't worked before, so it was me moving to the big city was kind of a tough move for me. Cried the whole way.
Cried the whole way from Cuyama to Bakersfield? I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. So when you got to Bakersfield, you ended up going to West High School, and you graduated there in 1974. You were a big baseball star in high school. I do remember that, even though I didn't know you in high school. I know that you went on to BC. Can you tell us a little bit about your career and starting out at BC and then moving forward?
Yeah, well, I'll back up a minute. I wasn't the biggest high school baseball star because a guy by the name of David Delgado was the MVP on our varsity baseball team, and I voted for him because I didn't deserve it.
And you're being so humble. That's good.
It's true. And then I moved on. I was supposed to play football and baseball at Bakersfield College, but Fred Landingham, who was my baseball coach at West High School, told me just put your eggs into one basket, and that's what I did. And I spent 2 years at Bakersfield College. It was awesome. Renegade.
Were you the MVP up at Bakersfield College then?
My sophomore year, I was, yes.
And so that would be your senior year at the JC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then tell us about moving on up and playing in college. Well, first of all, what position did you play, Jeff?
I was a center fielder my whole life. And then when I got to San Diego State, I was still a center fielder. And then my senior year, I moved to right field.
Oh, okay. Well, I heard that center field is where it's at. Is that true?
Well, they say that's where the best athlete is, but no, I don't know if it's true or not. But they do when colleges recruit, they recruit center fielders and shortstops. So.
Oh, very interesting.
How about that?
So when you get to San Diego State, first of all, why did you go to San Diego State? And what was it like once you got there playing baseball for them?
It was the old days where you had to write letters. So I knew I wanted to get better in baseball and become a better student and get bigger and stronger. So I wrote a few schools letters, but the coach at San Diego State got back to me and he said, "We'll follow you around." And then I had a good year my sophomore year, and Jim Dietz came to Bakersfield and offered me a scholarship. And that's how I got to San Diego State.
And Jim Dietz was the famous head of the San Diego State baseball team, right?
Hall of Fame baseball coach. Yeah,
that's right. And he was your coach the whole time, wasn't he?
He was my coach the whole time. Yeah.
Would you say did he sort of become a father figure for you?
Well, that's what he told me when I got to San Diego State. He just said, "Hey, I'm gonna." He told me I couldn't go to Bakersfield anymore, because I did have a girlfriend there. And he said, "There's plenty of young ladies here, and you're gonna stay here. You're not going home anymore."
Did you follow his advice, Jeff?
Yeah, he said, "I'm gonna be your father away from home." So I did.
So you broke up with your girlfriend because your coach told you to?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow, I would say that's definitely a father figure.
Yeah, and it was the best, because the drive from San Diego to Bakersfield, it can get a little tiresome at times.
And how was the team at San Diego State? Was it good at the time? Actually, I know the answer to that question, but I thought I'd let you tell it.
Okay, yeah. It wasn't. It was a great team. We were third in the country at one time.
Wow.
And we were beating all the SC, UCLA. It was great. It was Arizona. We beat them all.
I remember going and watching those games, and I remember how good you all were. It was a wonderful team.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a story? Tell us about how and why and when did you become a pro? Tell us your pro story, Jeff.
The pro story. Well, there's not much to it. I was a pretty good college baseball player, but I wasn't a very good pro. I went and worked out with the Angels at Anaheim Stadium, and I thought the Angels were going to draft me. But I went through without getting drafted, which is okay for a senior because I had 3 or 4 teams that I could negotiate with.
So you were doing all this when you were a senior in college?
It was after my senior year of baseball, you know.
Okay.
I remember Jim Dietz calling me and he said, "Hey, it's you know, I didn't get drafted and I was a little upset." And he said, "Hey, maybe you need to start thinking about life after baseball." And I said a few choice words to him because I didn't want to start thinking that way. And then he called back 5 minutes later, and you know, there's a few schools that were calling about me, and I picked the Cubs.
Ah, so you went to work. You signed up with the Cubs.
And, yeah, I signed up with the Chicago Cubs.
And what was that experience like for you?
Well, in 2 days, I was in New York, playing in upper state New York in Geneva, and it was the first time I got on a baseball field in Geneva, New York. It was an A-ball team, and we played in the New York Penn League. And I remember the manager saying, "Hey guys, it's time to go to work." So that's when you knew you were getting paid to play.
What does that mean? Did you say an A-ball team? What's that?
Yeah, it starts with rookie league, and then they go to A-ball, double A, triple A, and then the minor league, and then the major league.
Okay, so that's the stepping up to the majors.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you had to get to work, and they started paying you money to play.
They started paying. Yeah, I remember signing my contract with Pete Lango, was the assistant baseball coach at Bakersfield College. I had him come over, and then my mom came home from work, and the scout was there to sign me. So I signed it at the kitchen table in Bakersfield, and 2 days later, I'm on a plane to New York.
Wow. How long were you in New York for? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was there maybe a month, and then they shipped me out to it was in Fort Lauderdale. I went to Fort Lauderdale to play there, and then I went to Sarasota, Bradenton, played there, and then Fort Lauderdale, and then spring training the next year.
Is Sarasota, Bradenton in Florida too?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So did you like those experiences in Florida or not?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah.
And then
could have done better.
And then eventually you ended up leaving pro baseball, right?
That's right. Right.
But before we get there, let me ask you. You mentioned how you signed your contract at the kitchen table with your mom there. Did you know somebody named George Culver at BC?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? You know, I understand that he comes into the radio station here, and they know him very well here. He was in here, I think, a few weeks ago delivering a check. No. So they see him and they know him. And so tell us how you know him.
George is one of the biggest supporters of baseball and probably a lot of other things in Bakersfield. And I think I received a Jockey Club award, and then I think which Frank Woolridge is involved in, and a few of other my friends in Bakersfield. He's a part of the Jockey Club organization. And then I was invited to a George Culver dinner, and I had no idea I was going to get this scholarship. And it was the very first scholarship that George gave to a college baseball renegade. And so I accepted the scholarship, and he's been a big part of my life because of that. I probably wouldn't have gone there if it wasn't for him.
Wow.
The extra money.
You know, I know his nickname is the Earl of Oildale, and I actually bought the book, The Earl of Oildale, and I gave it to my husband, but I haven't read it. Have you seen that book? If not, I'll send you a copy.
I would love to read that book.
Okay.
That would be very, very entertaining, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm happy to send it to you. So can you tell us so look, take us back. You're finished, you're done with, you think you're done with baseball. You're kind of going through that decision. What do I do now? So what was that like for you at that time in your life? And what did you end up doing? And can you kind of talk about what that feels like for professional baseball players who have to reach that fork in the road?
Well, to be honest with you, it's an awful feeling. It was in Mesa, Arizona, where I got released. And they said, well, you don't have it so bad. You can go play for the Bakersfield Outlaws, which was, I think George was the manager of that team at the time. And so I was embarrassed to even go back to Bakersfield. I spent time in Newport with my brother. He lived there then.
Why were you embarrassed to go back home?
I just felt like a failure because I was released and I should have done better and I didn't. So I hid out. I hid out for a little while in Newport with my brother.
Well, that doesn't sound like such a rough thing, hiding out in Newport Beach.
No, but I knew I needed to get back to Bakersfield and start my life, and I had a chance to go sign with the Angels, but I didn't do it. I just thought, you know what, it's time to. The scout that signed me gave me the best advice I could have received. He said, "Hey, with your education, you're almost done. Go finish school. If they're not moving you in the organization and moving you up to AA as fast as you want to move, then get out. Get out of the sport." Because I've had friends that stayed in minor league baseball for 10 years and then they didn't really get any experience in anything. They didn't finish school. So even though I didn't get to play more pro ball, I made that decision to get started in my career.
Was it hard to make that decision? Did you stress out over it?
Yeah, because I did want to play for the Outlaws, and I don't know why I didn't. You know, I don't know why, but I didn't. And I just felt like I needed to start making some money. I know friends of mine in Bakersfield, like Greg Holland, they were already buying houses, and I thought, you know what, I want to get in the game too. So, a friend of mine that I've known since since fifth grade. So, still a great friend of mine.
And that's Greg Holland?
Yeah.
I know Greg Holland. He is a great he is a great guy. Very nice man.
He's a great guy.
So So, okay, you've decided you're not going to do baseball anymore. You want to find some way to make money. Did you come back to Bakersfield or did you stay out in Southern California?
I did come back to Bakersfield. I worked over San Joaquin Refinery. I actually started my own carpet cleaning business, and I was making some money. And there was a crossroads in life where I thought, you know what, I do need to finish my school. So I wrote Jim Dietz a letter, who's the head coach at San Diego State at the time, still. And I told him the story. I just told him I wanted to get back to the school. And within 2 days, he wrote me a letter back. And he said, you're going to be my assistant baseball coach at San Diego State. And I've already got you enrolled in classes. And
wow, he really was like a father figure for you.
He was.
That's great.
He took care of me. Yeah.
So you went back down there, you were the assistant coach, and you finished your school, right?
Well, so I was the assistant coach in the fall baseball league, and then I always wanted to get into the marketing world, and I knew Jim Dietz knew the president of Coca-Cola in San Diego, and I said, if you can get me an interview, and if I get the job, then I'll take the job. But if I don't, then I'll come back and work with you. Which he was offering me $11,000 a year in 1980.
And was that big money back then?
No, that wasn't very big money back then. No. He said he'd give me a job in maintenance, and I just didn't want to be one of the guys that worked on the field all the time. So he got me the interview, and I got the job at Coca-Cola, and within a year I was in the management training group. So that worked out.
How long were you with Coca-Cola then?
I was with Coca-Cola for 7 years and learned the whole business. And then Pepsi-Cola recruited me, and I went over to Pepsi. And I think soon after that, Jim and Joan Lindsay bought San Diego Pepsi.
And they were from Bakersfield, right?
They were from Bakersfield. They probably still live there.
Oh, very good.
They were good to me too, by the way.
So you ended up, in the end, you ended up starting your own business. I know that. We only have a few minutes left.
Okay.
So you had your own business there for 10 years. I know that you told me that, and it was very successful. And then you decide, and all of this whole time though, did you keep coaching or did you stop coaching?
I when my son was younger, I coached all him in travel ball, and then when he moved on and didn't need me anymore, I became the head baseball coach at Army Navy Academy in Carlsbad. And then I wanted to get into college baseball, and that's when the opportunity at Palomar opened up, and it's been awesome. I've been there for 10 years now, and I just love that. The JUCO is what we call it. JUCO, which is junior college, is tough. And I felt like I needed to go to that level, and these kids know that. I know that the kids wanted to be where I've been, and that was through Division I baseball at San Diego State, signed a professional baseball contract, and I can help kids do that, and that's what I'm doing there at Palomar College.
Is it how many kids actually succeed in that goal, do you think, percentage-wise, that you've seen in the last 10 years?
Oh, boy. Well, at Palomar, we're one of the best baseball programs in California, I think. And we get most of our kids out. Not all of them get a chance to go play Division I baseball, but they all get a chance to go play somewhere if they're good enough. So I'd say, maybe 15% of our team, 20% of our team moves on to the next level.
And do you help the ones that don't quite make it, kind of soften the blow for them emotionally?
Yeah, I do. We've had kids that one of my success stories is a kid that he was a red shirt. He was a hardworking kid. They had zero money, and he texted me over the summer one time and said that he didn't want to play baseball anymore. And I'm like, I texted him back and I said, "You are the reason why I coach baseball, and you need to come back out." And now he was our starting center fielder last year. He'll be our starting center fielder this year, and he'll move on to go play somewhere good.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. So it sounds like, did you kind of model your coaching style after Coach Dietz and wanting to mentor young men and be like a father figure?
Yeah, Coach Dietz. We had one time in San Jose. Is it okay if I tell the story?
Sure. I think we have about 45 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Well,
Chris
anyway,
is telling me that you can take. Chris, how much time do we have?
Bottom of the hour, if you'd like.
Oh, we have 5 more. We have 6 more minutes, Jeff. We can keep talking. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Actually, this is really one of the reasons why I got into coaching. We were playing in the San Jose State baseball tournament, and I was a starting player then, and I struck out against, I think we were playing Oregon State, and I struck out against them. And then I went and asked my coach, what adjustments I can make at the plate. And the next time I get ready to go hit, he had a pinch hitter come and pat me on the shoulder. And so I sat on the bench for like 2 games in a row. I went and told my mom and dad I'm not going to play anymore. He's benched me. And so they went home. And then the next day, Jim Dietz and I went out, and him and I went out to some middle school, and I must have hit 1,000 pitches. It's from T-ball to soft toss.
Was he pitching them to you?
He was throwing them to me too, and he says, "You're going to start tonight against Arizona." It was I think it was a championship game, and he put me in there, and I ended up hitting a home run through the scoreboard.
What?
And
what? We'll back that up now. What?
Okay. So I was coached up. He knew how to get to me, and I didn't want to sit on the bench anymore. So we played Arizona, and
the part about you hit a home run through the scoreboard. What?
Yeah, that was.
Did you crack the scoreboard?
I was as surprised as anybody.
Did you break the scoreboard in the stadium?
Actually, I broke the Coca-Cola logo.
Oh, that's funny. That was before you went to work for Coca-Cola.
Yeah. I actually I put scoreboards at schools around San Diego County, and we used to buy those logos, so I know how much they cost.
So you broke the logo on the scoreboard at the stadium in San Jose.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you have to pay for it?
Jerry Kendall with Arizona, the University of Arizona, tried to take the home run away from me because he thought I had too much pine tar on my bat.
And what happened with that? Did your coach step in and save you?
The coach was out. I heard him yelling. He said he's worked too hard for this. You can't take it away from him.
So
That's exactly what he said.
So pine tar. Can you give me a 20-second thing on pine tar? What?
Yeah, it's a sticky substance that hitters use to keep their hands from slipping off the bat.
Is it legal to use it?
Yeah, it's legal. Pitchers can't use it anymore, but hitters can.
And when he said that he thought you had too much, is there like a you can only have so many ounces, or what's is there a legal limit?
That's a great question. It can't go above the label of the bat, and it might have been, but George Brett had that issue too. I think a lot of your listeners will know about that story. George Brett and the New York Yankees, when they tried to take a home run away from him.
Were they successful?
Yes.
But they weren't. They didn't take yours away from you, though.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
So, okay, I got two more questions, but we have 2 more minutes. And here's my question that I want to ask you. Okay. What do you think about sports, professional sports, going woke? And I'm talking about bending the knee and doing all that stuff and being political. Having been there, what are your thoughts on that, Jeff?
Well, I think that's the tail wagging the dog. I just think that, hey, if you're the owner of a professional franchise, I think it's your right to honor the flag. And if your employees don't want to do it, then they don't have to do it. Or they should always listen to the employers. And I'm really talking about the NBA more than anything else.
Right.
But I just don't agree with owners allowing their employees to do that. That's kind of how I feel about it.
That makes a lot of sense. I have to say, I agree with you. So we have 1 minute and 15 seconds left, and I have one more question. You ready?
Okay. Yes, I am.
And this is, I'm really interested in this one. I'm interested in all of them, but really this one the most. What do you think about men playing in women's sports, Mr. Doyle?
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Have you ever had anybody try to do that on your teams?
No, never.
Okay.
No.
No, and heck no.
No. There's no place for that.
Well, Jeff, we just have a few seconds left, and I just want to say thank you for being here today and for coming on the show and just being such a good sport about everything and sharing your story. I think people will really appreciate what you went through and how you ended up being successful in business. And it's an honor and a privilege to have you on the show, Jeff. And I just want to thank you very, very much.
Oh, thank you, Terry. It was an honor for me too. And a shout out to all my friends in Bakersfield.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Bernie Bennett in Washington. New jobs numbers are being delayed because of the 43-day federal government shutdown. White House correspondent Greg Cluxton reports.
The September jobs report comes out Thursday morning, 7 weeks late. And now the Labor Department says it won't be releasing a full jobs report for October. The shutdown put a stop to calculating the nation's unemployment rate and some other key numbers. Instead, it will release some of the October jobs data along with the full November jobs report in the middle of December. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Melania Trump and Usha Vance took their first trip together, spending time in North Carolina Wednesday with service members and their families to show appreciation for their service and sacrifice as the holidays approach. In remarks to troops and families, the First Lady says many military families will miss a loved one this holiday season.
Please know that our nation is thinking of you, praying for you, and deeply grateful for your service. To every service member, thank you for standing watch so others can celebrate in peace. And to every military spouse and child, thank you for your strength and love.
The U.S. stock market swung through another unsettling day of trading ahead of a couple of critical tests for Wall Street. The S&P 500 added 0.4% and varying between a small loss and a leap of 1.1% early in the day. The Vigo County Sheriff's Office says deputies were sent to the home of a state senator, Greg Good, Sunday after they received an email advising harm had been done to persons inside. The officials said that their call was a prank. Earlier Sunday, President Trump criticized Indiana lawmakers for not moving to redistrict the districts, specifically naming Good and Senate President Pro Tem Rodney Bray. More news and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Americans are getting overwhelmed with the unpredictability of the Middle East situation, the ongoing government shutdown, and growing social upheaval at home. These all add up to a perfect storm of uncertainty for financial markets. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-741-GOLD to get your free gold and silver rollover information kit. We can help you navigate the complicated options you're considering for your IRAs and 401ks. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-741-GOLD.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family. But my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife, and for. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
From the KE and local news update on News Talk KERN.
Go straight to jail, do not. I'm Chris Davis. It was November 2nd that Dionisio Gallegos Ramirez drove drunk and hit a Mazda Miata that had a family inside, hurting some of them at the intersection of Hageman Road and Fruitdale Avenue. And Monday, he pleaded no contest to the charges of felony DUI, causing injury, and reckless driving, also driving on a suspended license. That was despite the prosecution telling the judge that they didn't want him to plead just yet. He'll be sentenced December 17th and faces a possible 5-year prison term. In another case where someone is accused of driving drunk and hurting someone else, Bakersfield real estate attorney William Charles Wright has annoyed the judge, not showing up for 2 hearings. And now she says he's claiming that he can't be there because he's sick and that he has until next week to provide proof of that. Wright is accused of crashing in a P car at a DUI checkpoint, hurting an officer last December. If you drive Weibel Road between Brundage Lane and Bell Terrace, you should be aware that that stretch will be closed in both directions through Friday. Those closures started today and go from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. That has to do with the Highway 58 bridge widening project. If you live north of Bell Terrace, the crew is providing a way for you to get there. A former Kern County deputy and leader at the McFarland Police Department has been appointed the new assistant police chief for the city of Shafter. The city made the announcement about Brian Knox on social media. He left McFarland Police about a month ago. You may be learning more soon about the proposed Tortuga Bay Resort, which is planned on 152 acres at Hageman Road and Mohawk Street. The Bakersfield City Council is set to discuss that this evening. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think? This is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get up close like this. Bing! You blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. This is Teri Goldner, and I'm sitting in for Ralph Bailey today, and I'm really happy to be here. Thank you, Ralph. So our next guest is a man of action. He was retired after 30 years as a federal treasury agent, mostly in the field. And before that, in his 20s, he actually was a bodyguard for some legends. I know some of it, the loyal listeners have heard some of these stories already, but bodyguard for legends like Dean Martin and Joan Rivers, who's my personal favorite. He's also a history major, and he has a deep knowledge of foreign affairs, which is really good. So we can talk about the mess that we're in today. So I want to welcome Howard Marcus, one of Ralph's regulars. Hi, Howard.
Howdy.
Welcome back to the
no
show.
Power, hiding from the cold.
Are you up in the mountains right now, or are you down here?
No, I'm up in the mountains. No, I come into Bakersfield usually in the mornings on a Wednesday for doctor appointments, things like that.
Very
It's
good.
a long drive to the canyon, so I don't come in that often.
Well, I hope you stay warm up there. So are you ready for my questions? I am so
Yeah, sure, go
excited
ahead.
to be able to talk to you. You know, when I first started listening to you on the Ralph Bailey show, Ralph would introduce you as a former federal agent.
Right.
And I always wanted to know, what does that mean? Because as a former United States magistrate judge, I dealt with a lot of federal agents, and I know there are all different kinds of federal agents. You name it, and they do all different kinds of things. And so, can you tell us what kind of federal agent you were, besides being a really good one?
Yeah, I like to think so. I was obviously with the Treasury because back then, they hadn't rolled all these things into Homeland Security. And specifically, I was with the Internal Revenue Service of Field Law Enforcement. And my job description was about 3 pages long. It was literally, I'm not an auditor, I'm not specifically a tax collector, but I did things like asset forfeitures, summonses, seizures, had interview prisoners, give depositions, anything legal, file nominee liens, do investigations for, things like for what's called a fraudulent conveyance.
Did you
referrals to the U.S. Attorney for prosecution, all sorts of stuff.
were you out in the field a lot, or were you in the office?
80% of the time in the field. I worked actually Kern, Inyo, and Mono counties. I worked basically from Bakersfield, which is what's called my post of duty, all the way up to just about shy of Reno, up to just before the border.
Wow. Does that mean that you had to were you on the road a lot?
All the time, yeah.
Oh boy. Did your
usually
marriages survive that?
Well, maybe I think my wife was pretty happy about that. So I guess she got a break from me. Week or two a month.
Okay, all right. I won't get too nosy then. I won't ask you too much more about that. So, can you, like, when you say you're out in the field, can you tell us sort of a day in the life of a Treasury agent who did what you did? Kind of you wake up really early in the morning, jump in the car. What do you do?
Well, normally you have a caseload assigned to you, and the cases all vary. It was anything from what some people would consider what's called skip tracing, which is trying to locate an individual, trying to find someone, or you'd be interviewing a prisoner, either like the federal prison used to be at Boron, or I'd be up to Tehachapi with a state prison, or I would be out there making contact with individuals for a variety of issues, and for anything from tax referrals. I remember doing a lot of asset seizures for a variety of reasons. So the nice thing about the job, what I really liked, is you set your own schedule. You had a caseload to work, and obviously we're subject to periodic reviews, but you decided when and where you went, on which cases you decided to work that time. And based on your grade level, I was a grade 12.
That's pretty far up that's pretty far up the chain, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as high as you can go. I was a grade 12, the end, grade 12 step 10, which is as high as you can physically go. I think the steps came about every 2 years. You can figure out the math.
So did you, as a federal agent, did you get a raise every time you went up the steps?
Yeah, you did. It was promotional.
And to get the promotion, did you have to excel or just be okay?
Well, you could get something called what's called a sustained superior performance, which means you exceeded performance reviews, and I got those fairly regularly. I was pretty good at my job. I enjoyed it a lot, and I took it very seriously. And so, yeah, some of the promotions were obviously merit based. Some were automatic based on time and grade. What's called time and grade were automatic. The higher up you went, the more important obviously was, because without getting into a lot of details, you wanted your high 3 years, just like anything with the county for retirement calculations.
That makes
sense.
So
those bonuses counted in.
When I first became county counsel, that was my first time to ever go through an employee performance review in my entire life. And I was in my 50s. I'd never experienced one of those before. But I was really surprised to learn that in the county, you work through the steps. At the time, there were 5 different levels. And if somebody met expectations, they got to go up. And all they had to do was meet expectations. And I remember thinking, that doesn't sound right. It should be harder than that to get a raise, or harder than that to get promoted. Meeting expectations doesn't sound very good to me. That was one of my shockers. So welcome to public work, right? Public government.
Oh,
work.
it's always that way. Civil service joke used to be those that can't go to civil service, and that's changed dramatically. We had an annual performance review every year, and with monthly reviews on individual cases we pulled for review, and they were pretty extensive. And to be honest, it was your review would be pages long.
Wow.
And, personal interviews. They'd pull every case. They go through the case files. You had to meet, obviously, the case had to meet legal statutory requirements. You had to be, actually have a direction with the case, and obviously at some point a established ending to it. Either a referral for prosecution or some of the resolution. And you dealt with anything from, you deal with a lot of attorneys on the outside and inside. And just as you mentioned earlier in your talk, U.S. attorneys want a high success rate. By the time they go to court, they want a 90% plus conviction rate, which means you do a ton of background checks and information.
So you must have worked with a lot of the U.S. attorneys that were in Fresno and other places.
Yeah, mostly Fresno. Yeah, that was it was a hub.
Very good.
Bakersfield was kind of is in the outlying area.
Did you go to court at all, or hardly?
Luckily, hardly ever. Mostly because what you would do is you'd give your depositions to the U.S. attorney, and they were allowed to present that. You didn't normally actually have to appear. I very rarely did, and it was just the way the system was set up federally.
We had a caller earlier that asked about grand jury testimony, and I talked a little bit about that. Did you ever appear in front of a grand jury to give testimony?
I had to give depositions to them, and people don't realize how the grand juries work. You're very circumspect in what you can give them interagency. In fact, if you got I had it happen accidentally once where the FBI gave me a file referral, and Internal Affairs went berserk because wait,
stop there. When they gave you a file referral, can you explain to us what that means?
Yeah, sure. They provided information to me on a case I was working, and what they gave me without telling me was grand jury information. Which, as you know, is not supposed to happen. It's supposed to remain within the grand jury and obviously the prosecution. And it was an agent either was new or didn't know or didn't care. I don't know the answer, but I wasn't at fault. But he gave it to me, and then when I saw what it was a sealed file. It caused quite a bit of uproar. People don't read. The grand juries are supposed to be very, very circumspect, and only even within agencies, it's very very carefully reviewed as far as what they can disclose, even interagency. So it's a big no-no to do that.
That's true. And have you been listening to the news about what Congress has ordered the Attorney General to release on the Epstein files, and that it could include grand jury materials?
It's going to be redacted if it's even provided. It has to be, because there's real legal threats there that you're going to cause, as you said, irreparable harm. And just the naming, as you said, naming of an individual, even if there was no grounds for it, it's going to really hurt that individual. And even if they're completely innocent, they're going to be tarred by that. It's going to be you're going to have a liability for the government. And so I think that Pam Bondi's in a difficult position, because the problem you've got now is that the way the media has framed this is that any attempt to shield individuals, they're going to assume that the person was guilty, or that you're withholding information that's going to blow this case wide open. In fact, even though it's been in the Biden administration had it for 4 years and did nothing. And if there was anything that was going to be damaging to the right side, I should say, of the political spectrum, it would have been released already.
That makes a lot of sense. But they didn't release any. Well, they tried to. I remember Pam Bondi actually tried to get some grand jury information released, and the court said, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, it was because of that, exactly. That's not unusual. It's supposed to be, it's sort of the grand jury selection is a very secretive process, and should be. And anybody who's watched, say, like the old movie The Untouchables and things, most of the people that were within the mafiosos were indicted by grand juries. And it was a big deal that they were named that way, because it was a very different process than what people assume when they go to like traffic court. It's not really an open process, and it has to be that way.
Have you ever been on a grand jury, Howard?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever been on a jury? Ever been on a jury?
Yeah. Normally, when they did the questionnaire, as soon as they found out what I did for a living, I was almost always excused.
Oh, darn!
I very rarely made the jury because of that. The prosecution, for example, would obviously want me on there, and the defense wouldn't.
Wow.
And I think in 30 years, I think I served on like a traffic jury once. But it's just the way the nature.
All the good ones don't get on, right?
Well, it's a flaw to the system. I'll be honest. If you ask my opinion, when you get called for jury duty, you take the first 12 guys in, and they sit down and do it. As long as they're a citizen, not a felon, you put them on the jury. This idea that they can have unlimited, they get unlimited choices, and you can drag this out and kind of try to hand select a jury to favor their side, isn't how I view the system to work. And you'll see that happen when these flawed jury things come out. I don't believe in that.
Do you think, the federal grand juries are different than the state grand juries? And you know, you're on, once you get picked, you're on it for a whole year. And
Yeah,
it's a big job, and you got to go to Fresno. And, you know, I
Yeah,
was
well,
always hoping that one day when we got a federal courthouse here in Bakersfield, that people could serve on grand juries in Bakersfield. So people don't have to drive to Fresno. But I don't think that the court has adopted that yet. That was always something that
no, none of them.
I had hoped would happen. Do you think that do you think people should look forward to being on a federal grand jury or run away from it?
I mean, my personal opinion is it's
Mhm.
very disruptive. First of all, you can't talk with the case with anybody, just like a normal jury, but you know, you're not supposed to discuss the case. Secondly, you know, depending what you do for a living or what your home life is like, it's incredibly hard to do because you're paid a very small remuneration for doing it. You have all the travel time and mileage, which doesn't account for the wear and tear on your own life. And I think they have a different system. You know, if you live in Fresno, fine, pull them for that. But to pull somebody from Bakersfield, make them drive to Fresno and stick them in grand jury for a year, you know, I'm not sure how enthusiastic most people would be.
That's painful because the Eastern District includes, as you know, Inyo County. I mean, people can be drugged from a long ways away to have to go serve on a federal grand jury. And it's really too bad, but hopefully one day that'll change, I think.
I would hope so. It's become too big to really be easily managed. All my cases, as you were in Eastern District.
Yep, that makes
Because
sense.
so big.
You know, I'm sorry that, you know, my tenure as a magistrate judge crossed over with your tenure as a treasury agent, but we didn't get to meet each other. That was too bad. I would have liked to have met you.
We probably wouldn't have known each other at the time, but yeah, I would have been the guy that looked like a drug dealer. So, yeah,
Actually, the first federal agent that I ever met, my very first day as a judge, I was in my chambers, and this guy comes in, and he came in and he looked like a bum. He had a baseball hat on backwards. He had a big old beard. He was all dusty and just dirty and all that kind of stuff. And turns out he worked for the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, and he had been up in some marijuana gardens up in the mountains, and had found some information and was coming in to get a search warrant. And first I thought, I can't even believe that guy's a law enforcement agent. You know, he didn't look like one to me, but he was a very good law enforcement agent in the end.
Yeah, I didn't look at all like my job. My voice and my physical appearance, apparently, people that know me, very different. If you look at my Facebook page, it doesn't it doesn't look like me, which is fine. I mean, that's okay.
So why did you purposely change your appearance when you were an agent?
Well, when you're going out in the field, you know, I mean, one of the more fun stories, I was very brand new. I got hired out of Los Angeles, and I didn't know this area at all. I took the job because I liked the idea, and I was assigned some cases in Arvin.
Arvin, they have some good stuff in Arvin, don't they?
Oh yeah. Well, I was brand new, so here I am in a 3-piece suit driving, of all things, an AMC Gremlin, which was the government car at the time.
Did you say a gremlin?
A Gremlin. Yeah, they went bottom of the barrel when they were paying for our stuff.
Tell me it wasn't a green gremlin. It wasn't green, was it?
No, it was white. I mean, most government cars are white, and I got green Gremlin. And I went to Arvin, and I got out of the car, and you know, the first guy I saw, because I'm looking for stuff, was skip tracing, and I introduced myself and showed them we have a badge called a commission, which is not like a law enforcement shield badge. It's what's called a pocket commission. And I flashed that to him, and I said, "I'm, you know, Mr. Marcus, I'm with," and I named the agency, and he misheard it. He yelled up top of his lungs, INS.
Oh no!
And I've never seen an entire street. This was 40 years ago. I've never seen an entire street empty in like 10 seconds.
Oh,
People
everybody
were jumping
just
over
ran.
fences and running down the streets, and I'm looking around going, "What did they say?" That was my introduction to basically Kern County.
Oh my gosh! Well, when you say you did skip tracing, can you tell the audience what skip tracing is?
Well, you'll have for a variety of reasons, either it was a meth lab or it was tax avoidance, or it was a number of issues. Could be anything. Even back child support at the time, federally, we were actually involved in that for some time. You're looking for an individual who's trying to hide, and so you use all the information you have available, whether it's DMV records, real property, online searches, anything you think of, postal service, and you're actually physically out trying to locate someone. Sort of like almost like a private investigator trying to find a missing person, and that's the easiest way to explain it.
Wasn't that kind of exciting?
I thought so. Yeah, it was very challenging because this is before the internet was readily available. We didn't have GPS, so you were literally out there. You had a last known address. You're interviewing neighbors, and you're going to local like utility companies, things like that, trying to track someone down who's basically tried to go underground.
Were people pretty nice to you when you asked for information, or were they hesitant to talk to you?
It depends on what case I was working, what area I was in. The old joke was that all the felons in L.A. County went to Rosamond, and all our felons went to Lancaster. So, we had a.
I wonder if that's still true.
Probably, and the problem with some of the areas, they had no. You go to the post office, say, for example, trying to get a trace on someone, and they give you directions to the house. And they go, well, you go over this junk car and take a left. There's a dog laying there, and you go past him. Like Rosamond had no street signs, but good chunks of it. So you're literally wandering around trying to find someone.
Did you ever get shot or shot at?
I had several attempts on me, yeah.
Is anything you can share with us or no?
Well, I had one guy, and this was, he had tried to kill it was an interagency, it was what's called a criminal investigator for a different division. They tried to contact him down in LA, and he tried to draw a 337 on him. They had to wrestle him to the ground. And God knows why they gave him bail, and he jumped bail. And he was hiding, of all places, he was a survivalist before that became popular. And he was living in Bear Valley, off the land, up in the mountains around Bear Valley.
Wow.
And I guess he was breaking into cabins and stuff. So when I tried to contact him, he made a really weird threat directly to me. And it was in biblical terms, about a millstone around my neck. And I'm going, what is he saying?
What's a millstone?
Well, it was
I know.
not to kill people at the time. He put a millstone, it was a biblical phrase. And we had to call an additional security, and we're trying to find this guy, and he's trying to kill me. And I had a couple of cases. I had one was just a simple asset forfeiture on a guy in Taft, and the asset forfeiture came the same day he got a foreclosure notice that his mother had just died. So we went to the front door to serve the papers, and this is a very large African American, and he went gray, and they went, uh-oh, I didn't know this had happened. And he said, I'll be right back, which is not a good sign. And I heard all of a sudden I heard the screaming, yelling in the house, and the sound of breaking furniture. And what had happened is he grabbed a shotgun to come kill me. And his wife, who was about 4 feet tall and about 300 pounds, had flung herself on the shotgun to stop him. And he was swinging the gun through the air with her on it through the furniture to get to the door.
Wow. And where were you at this time? Were you standing in the doorway?
Well, at that point in time, I decided discretion was the better part of valor. We already had the car hooked up with the tow truck. We'd already served the required paperwork.
My gosh.
I was actually just the assisting officer.
So did you screech off down the road with the vehicle?
Well, the joke I made at the time was, the new trainee said, "Should we run for it?" And I said, "No, we're federal officers. We'll just walk really fast." And hit the road.
So, when you talk about asset forfeiture, when I think of asset forfeiture, I think of it more in state court, and that's where somebody is growing pot on their land and it gets confiscated. Is that sort of what you did too?
Well, we do. That was something called a jeopardy termination, and what that means is, for example, we go to say there's a meth lab, and there's bundles of cash, or there'd be a huge amount of drugs, and what we do on the spot, we coordinate with local law enforcement, and they would. We would assess on the spot a tax bill, and then hand the guy the bill. Here you go. Let's see. There's $500,000 worth of marijuana. The tax bill will be this plus penalties and interest, and we hand him a bill, and then confiscate the cash.
Oh, there you go.
That was one way of doing it.
Well, I hate to do this, but I'm getting the signal that I'm running out of time. So we'll just have to do this again, Howard. I love talking to you. What interesting stories and what a great career you've had. So maybe next time we can talk again.
No problem. Whatever you like.
Thank you very much, Howard. Take care.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Thursday edition of the First Look program, we'll be joined by local psychologist Dr. Corey Gonzalez. That means you get mental health advice, we get burritos, we'll back obviously with state-of-the-art news and traffic and yes, weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. Right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Webs at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Texting privacy policy, terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Text help for help. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications medications that are all over the news, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie, and if you qualify, you can get medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1s at 80 to 90% savings without insurance, all 100% online.
Wait, I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No long wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, for 80 to 90% less and shipped direct to your door.
Amazing. How do I get started?
Just send them a text.
Text SLIM to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less, 100% online. Don't wait. Text SLIM to 797979 right now for your exclusive offer. Text SLIM to 797979. That's SLIM to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
I'm here with Dr. Tarkesh from Affordable Dentures and Implants. Doc, people often think dental implants are a one-size-fits-all solution. How is Affordable Dentures and Implants different than that?
That's a great question. We know every patient is unique and each person has their own specific needs. So we create a personalized treatment plan designed just for them.
Wow. And what makes your process stand apart from the other places?
Well, we offer advanced digital dentistry, which let us design and create custom solutions. And with our on-site lab, we can offer same-day teeth for many patients. No waiting for weeks for your new smile.
Same-day teeth? Now that's impressive.
If you're ready to get started on your new smile today, go see Dr. Tarkesh and his amazing team at Affordable Dentures and Implants on the corner of Truxton and Coffee next to Nothing But Cake. Call 831-7230 to schedule your appointment today.
Go ahead and smile.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Teri Goldner sitting in for Ralph Bailey today, and we are going to move on to another guest. I have been waiting to meet this person for a very long time, at least for 2 months, and I'm so excited that he is willing to come in here today. But first, let me give you a little bit of a reason why I'm excited to meet him. For those of you who haven't been listening, about a year and a half ago, we had these 2 peacocks showed up on our front porch. And I thought they were really, really pretty, peacocks. How cool is that? And so I thought, okay, that's really nice. But they didn't leave. They would come back. They would show up the next day and the next day. And after about a week and a half, the mail woman came up, and she said, "It looks like they've adopted you." And they have. And now we have 8 of them. And so that's why Mark is my savior, because he's going to take them away. And hopefully in just a few minutes, we're going to find out how he's going to do that. See you at the other side of the break.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Bernie Bennett. The Labor Department said Wednesday that it will not be releasing a full jobs report for October because the 43-day federal government shutdown meant it couldn't calculate the unemployment rate and some other key numbers. Instead, it will release some of the October jobs data, most importantly, the numbers of jobs that employers created last month, along with the full November jobs report.
Yeah, I hope she comes.
Now due a couple weeks late. On December 16th, the department's employment situation report usually comes out the first Friday of the month, but the government shutdown disrupted data collection and delayed the release of the reports. For example, the September jobs report is now coming out Thursday, and that was originally due on October 3rd. Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers is now retreating from his most prominent public roles. Summers severed ties Wednesday with OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT. This is
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. A man who drove drunk November 2nd hit a Mazda Miata on Hageman Road, hurting the family inside. We'll get his comeuppance next month. A judge accepted a no-contest plea for Benicio Gallegos Ramirez despite objections from the prosecutor.
Did you bring your wife?
Meanwhile, real estate attorney William Charles Wright, also accused of driving drunk and hitting a CHP car, at a DUI checkpoint, hurting an officer last year, has failed to show in 2 court hearings. The judge says he better read a doctor's note by next week since he's claiming medical unavailability. Chapter has a new assistant police chief. Brian Knox recently left the McFarland Police Department and is also a former Teri County deputy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Do you know how much you're really paying for life insurance through work?
Isn't that great?
I can almost guarantee you're overpaying for limited coverage.
These are
I'm Joel
beautiful.
Clark, a Select Quote agent for over 20 years. My clients are shocked to learn how expensive life insurance at work really is because of a rate that's driven up by unhealthy people. Why pay more when you don't have to? For over 35 years, Select Quote has helped people save 50% or more by shopping highly rated insurance carriers. I found a 40-year-old man with high blood pressure, a $500,000 policy for only $18 a month. Don't procrastinate. Workplace open enrollment will be here soon. Let Select Quote save you money and get you the coverage you need to protect your family.
For your free quote in just minutes, call 1-800-964-6464, 1-800-964-6464, or go to selectquote.com. That's 1-800-964-6464, 1-800-964-6464. Details of example rate at selectquote.com.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Norma Diaz, owner of La Rosa Fruit Bars and Ice Cream.
Hi, I'm Norma Diaz from La Rosa Fruit Bars and Ice Cream, and I'm a client and friend of Paul Sheldon. I've known Paul for many, many years, and my parents happened to be his first clients. So, of course, I called Paul and immediately felt this peace come over me, knowing that I didn't have to freak out about making a big decision. His knowledge about Medicare and your health insurance needs are beyond compare, and I was taken care of immediately by his wonderful staff. He knew everything that I needed and what I wouldn't need, so I was pretty much in and out of there in record time. If you're getting to that age where you're going to be needing to know about Medicare, then he's the one to call. He will totally help you out and get you pointed in the right direction. You're going to leave there feeling a great accomplishment, no concerns. And even if you have questions later, his staff can help you out. Those feelings are just priceless to me. So call Paul. You'll be glad to.
About
that. Medicare matters. Our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
Jeff always told me that women were not allowed.
Welcome to Sundale Country Club.
That was it.
Your home for golf, family, and
You let
friends.
women go in
Sundale
there?
is more than golf. It's a jewel
Does
in
your
the heart of
wife like going out
Bakersfield.
there?
The proud home of the award-winning Phoenix Restaurant, combining upscale dining with magnificent golf course views. Sundale Country Club will soon be your favorite getaway without even leaving town. To reserve a tea time or make a dining reservation, call 661-831-4200. Open to all, but ask about our membership benefits. Golf, family, and friends. It all comes together at Sundale Country Club.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
But you don't have to look at it. But here we go. We're going to get started. Welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. Thank you for sticking with us for the rest of the afternoon. I am so excited to introduce you to our next guest. This is Mark Swaim. Mark has called in when I've been talking about my peacock problem and offered to solve the peacock problem. And I got to meet him just now, and it turns out, wow, what an interesting person he is. So I am going to ask him all kinds of questions. He's not just a peacock fan. He's a bird fan, a pheasant fan, a quail fan, a chucker fan, a turkey fan, and all that kind of stuff. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
So great.
Thanks for putting me after Howard, because Howard's just a wonderful guy.
Oh, isn't he great?
To Howard, yeah.
So you are a good friend of Ralph's.
Yeah. So since Ralph got on the radio, I've always been kind of a talk show, listen to talk shows and listen to his show every morning, and we got to meet each other and just kind of went on from there. So it's been many
that's
years.
wonderful. Yeah. So my understanding was that you guys are golf buddies. Mm-hmm. And does he golf with you a lot?
Yeah, he does. I mean, he'll go 6 or 8 times a year with us. He'll say he's going to be there 20 times a year, but
well, it's hard to. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
He's probably stretched pretty thin on where he goes.
Yeah, he's stretched pretty thin, and then his gal will pop up every once in a while, or something will pop up. So
where do you guys play golf?
Sundale.
Oh, very good.
Club, yeah.
You remember out there? You've been.
I'm a member out there, and for we get up and tee off at 6:30 or 7 or 7:30, and
Ooh.
Ralph's just getting to bed about that time. So
See, he's not here, so we can talk about him. So I'm hoping that maybe you could have a Ralph story, but we'll have to warm it up first before you tell something like that. So I want to talk about you just a little bit, because I find your background fascinating. My understanding is that you own Southwest Greens, that you have owned grocery stores for many, many years.
Oh, yes.
And that you have a ranch of 320 acres where the little peacocks are going to live.
Yep.
And tell us about you. Tell us about what is Southwest Greens?
So first of all,
It's not a grocery store, is it?
My claim to fame is just a Bakersfield home. I love the town. I love the area.
Are you from Bakersfield?
Yes, born and raised right here in Bakersfield. So.
Wow.
So it's a nice little town, and I love hearing the comments of people who come to this town and say it's a nice town. It really is a nice town. So I've been here all my life, and out of high school I got in the grocery business, and I ran some grocery stores for an owner. I was never the owner. Ran the grocery stores for about 45 years.
Did you start on the bottom?
Oh,
were you like a box boy?
I started
or
on
something?
weekends cleaning parking lots.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I got promoted to bottle sorter.
Ooh.
Then box boy.
Ooh.
And then the rest is history.
Oh my gosh. And so did you end up becoming like a manager of a store?
Yeah, so we had a store, then we bought another store. So we ran 2 stores, and that's when we bought the second store is about the time I met Ralph. I think it was at 82 or 83 or 84. Whenever he
and
came
where
over
were
here.
these grocery stores?
Where were they? One was on South Chester Avenue.
Okay.
And one was in Lamont.
And what were the name of the stores?
Modern Way Markets.
Oh, Modern Way Markets.
Yes.
I know I've been to Modern Way Markets. Oh my gosh. I bet more than half the people in Bakersfield.
There's not too many
been
times
there.
you'll run around town and nobody does it.
Do you still own them?
No, I never owned them. Remember, I ran them.
Oh, you ran them.
So no, the owner died. Son came in, and kind of had a different way, wanted to do things around there. So I was gone, and then about 2 years later, he closed the store down. They closed down.
So you had to find another job.
Yep.
And where did you land?
So I landed with a friend of mine, had a construction company at the height of the housing boom. So he had about 20 trucks and construction service company trucks, and bought me in, and then that market closed down. So in about 2 years,
You're looking for another job.
And I had wanted to. I had talked to Southwest Greens a couple of years earlier.
And Southwest Greens is
a franchise. It's one of the largest turf companies in the country.
It's a turf,
artificial
okay.
turf company.
Oh,
Started building putting
wow.
greens and golf courses. And
Are you talking about sod and things like that?
Artificial.
Artificial. Oh, okay. We have some of that at our house.
Yeah. So I'd talked to those guys, and then I just didn't pull the trigger. And then when this happened, I called them back, and they were glad to have me back. So they put me through their program and went down and trained. And that was in 2007.
Oh, and you've had the business since
almost
then?
18 years now.
Wow. So is artificial turf getting bigger and bigger and bigger?
Yeah, it's gotten better. Getting with the environment the way it is, and it's not for everybody, but it's we're still scratching 1 or 2% of the population, so it should have a lot of growth going.
We put a little patch in over by our patio next to the swimming pool, and it's beautiful. It looks better than the real grass, and it's soft and it's great. And we live on 3 acres, so we can't exactly have all of it be artificial turf, but if I could, I would.
It's pretty expensive to do it that way, but in 2-3 years, it'll pay for itself. My yard is 18 years old.
Wow.
And it's been in for 18 years, and it's 8-year warranty turf. So
oh
you put it in right, take care of it. It's fine.
Well, sounds like you've got a really thriving business.
Yeah, it's been good for us.
So now let's talk about the other fun part of your life. Okay. You also own a ranch, right?
Yeah. So we, by the way, my wife called my daughter and said I was going to be on your show today.
Oh, would you like to say hi to her?
And she said, yeah, Michelle. That's Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
And she said, well, what's he going to talk about? And my wife said, peacocks. He goes, well, I didn't know Dad was a peacock expert.
You're gonna be.
And it reminded me about what you said. I know a little bit about a whole lot of things. So we'll just go from there.
Oh, that's funny. So you tell us about the ranch that you love.
The club?
Yeah. Well, your ranch.
Okay. So, it started as a duck club. So a friend of mine wanted to lease some property about 1997. And I hunted the next ranch over. And he called me, he's a friend of mine. He said, hey, I want to release this thing. We'd like you to come and be a member to this duck club. And I said, man, I've already paid my dues this year, but if you still want to do it next year, I'll be over. So about 3 months into the season, he said, Mark, I like this place. I'm going to buy it. I want you to be a member. So that was back in 1997. And then from there, it just became, we just maintained it and ran that and operated that thing for the last 17.
And how big is the land that the Duck Club sits on?
The land sits on 320 acres.
Wow.
And
that's a lot.
Yeah. We keep 2 ponds full during duck season. About 105 acres we flood for the duck season.
My gosh.
And we try to grow habitat for upland game and native animals out there. So
are you out there a lot taking care of it or no?
I'm out there a couple of times a week, 52 weeks out of the year.
How fun though.
Pulling weeds or kicking over tumbleweeds or feeding some of my birds or something.
So can you tell us about duck clubs? I know one person who was in a duck club, and he told me some wild stories about what goes on at those duck clubs. So can you tell us about your duck club?
Okay.
First of all, what's the name of it?
A little bit different than those wild stories. We've
well,
always,
are those wild stories probably true, or is he just making that up?
Oh, they probably exaggerated.
You know the person who said it, so he's probably exaggerating.
He is a funny guy. He's a nice guy, though. Matter of fact, he was I met him in the grocery business.
Oh, you did? Yeah. We're talking about someone who's not with us anymore. Yeah. His name is Jeff Thompson.
He's a farmer, and
he grew watermelons and all kinds of things.
My store in Vermont. We talk all the time.
Oh, he's great.
Then I was getting into duck hunting at the time. We became friends ever since. And this shirt right here is Teri Basin Wetlands Association, and this was founded by all the local duck clubs.
Oh my gosh!
And we have some lobbyists that do some work for us.
So duck club members are pretty much environmentalists, aren't they? Because they want the land to be good.
It's been a hard fought battle because everybody says they just want to kill the ducks, but believe me, we're not going to kill anything, so we don't have anything left to kill. There's more birds now than there ever was because of us. So we want to restore and maintain wetlands. Our advocates used to be the environmentalists. Oh, we hate you guys. We hate you guys.
They don't want anything to be
now
on the
they're
land.
calling us saying, hey, we need to restore the wetlands. We need your help. So
now you're BFFs, best friends forever.
Audubon and everybody's calling us saying, listen, we need to get together and restore this because they know we've got a good foothold on
the situation. Do you work with them?
Pardon? Oh yeah. I mean, because it's gotten expensive. Duck hunting's probably gotten expensive. So when we started this club, we were buying water for $18 an acre foot. We use about 400 acre feet a year for our duck club. Wow. Right now, this year I'm paying 171. Ooh. So our water budget's between $60,000 and $70,000.
So you need some assistance. Those are going to be some expensive ducks.
You don't want to count how many ducks and how much a duck it is.
Divide it by how much you're paying for water. That you probably wouldn't want to eat that duck.
It's becoming more difficult because of the price of water. That's the biggest killer. So.
Well, your duck club though, tell us what's on your duck club. I mean, you've got a building, you've got all kinds of things out there.
So yeah, we have first of all a fence around it.
Got to have a fence, right?
People seem to cut all the time and try to get in and see what we have in there. We have a clubhouse on it. We have a couple of barns on it.
Is this a fancy clubhouse, Mark?
It was at one time, but we're starting to rebuild it. So we kind of gutted it. Now we want to put a better air conditioner in it and redo everything. So it's kind of empty. We built some RV pads, about 12 RV pads, and everybody kind of moved into those, power water and all the hookups they need.
So everybody comes out with their RVs?
They keep them out there all year long.
Oh, wow.
And so
RV
it's a
parking.
year-long activity anyway.
Okay.
When the season's not going on, we're out there hanging out.
So if you have an RV and you're out there, why do you need to be in the house? Is that just to cook and stuff like that?
Why we're being what?
Why would you have to be in the clubhouse?
We don't much anymore because since we opened up the RV pads, everybody hangs out and cooks out their RV pads.
Oh, wow. It's kind of like going to Pismo Beach. That sounds like it's kind of like going to Pismo Beach where everybody has their RVs out there.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. And then we have a bass pond out there. A lot of times the Boy Scouts or some of the church groups will come out and bring their kids out. And we let them catch fish out there.
Oh, it sounds wonderful.
We have a rifle range. We have shotgun ranges out there. So it's a pretty fun place.
What is the name of your duck club?
West Side Waterfowl.
Perfect. Did you name that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know if we had that. I think the second year we did that because we incorporated a non-for-profit. So we have an ownership group that owns it, and then we have a duck club management group who run the duck club.
That's fantastic. Wow. And so here's my big question. Are women allowed in your duck club?
Oh, absolutely.
Are women allowed in most duck clubs, or are they exclusively male domains?
I'll take the fifth on that. So, but
I know what that means.
We've had women member for 10 years, 15 years.
And do they hunt just like everybody else?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we have a lot of the guys who are members bring their wives or bring their nieces or daughters and hunt. So yeah, we really, really like to see the families out.
So would that be a place where someone would like bring a date to on Friday night or not?
That's
Maybe not.
Yeah.
What's a?
She's got to be ready to get dirty because it's not like being in a hotel. So.
Oh, there you go. You're gonna find out if you really like that guy or not, huh? So what is like a Friday night out at your duck club like?
Okay, so I usually get out there early, 3 or 4 o'clock. Some people from LA, they'll get in there 5 or 6 o'clock. Everybody will kind of get settled in. You got to hunt the next morning about 4 in the morning. So you got to get all your gear ready to go. And then fireplaces pop up and start to cook. And then the wine gets corked and the cigars get lit up and you hang out till 9 or 10.
One big giant party out at the duck club,
and
huh?
then get up in the morning and go hunt.
And are you in a state of mind to be able to shoot straight when you get up in the morning?
I go to bed early. I'm getting old. I go to bed early. So.
It sounds like a lot of fun. Are you there like every week or how often do you go?
Usually during duck season, I'll hunt every shoot day. You only shoot 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Is that by law?
And no, it's just by taking care of your animals and your ducks and your waterfowl. You want to give them some resting time.
So you set the dates when people hunt?
All the duck clubs use those same dates.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
You're
it's just
kidding.
kind of carry down. It's a good way to get a weekend in and a weekday in, and it gives the ducks plenty of time to rest. They're migrating, they're coming through, they need to eat, they need to rest. So
That's
you just don't want
fascinating.
to shoot them all the time and scare them off.
So when you're out there, do you have your duck blinds and all that sort of thing when you go hunting, shooting?
Duck blinds in your waders, you go tromping out there in the water and get in your little pit and hide.
Has anybody ever been shot at your duck club?
Well, that's another story. Yeah.
Can you tell us that one?
No, I won't tell you about
I can
that
tell you that my husband went on, he's not a hunter. He's a lawyer. He's a different kind of a hunter. He's a big game hunter in a different way. But the first time that he ever went out, he was invited to a duck club. It was Jeff Thompson's duck club. And he got hit in the tush.
With
some little pellets.
Yeah.
And he swore that he thought this other guy did it on purpose.
Yeah, I'll stay away from that duck club.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, maybe that really happened. I don't know. But I thought that was pretty fun. Now I think it's funny. It wasn't funny at the time because he wasn't happy.
So one day we were at talking about Jeff Thompson, we were at a annual meeting with our organization, and somebody responsible for ringing donuts. And somebody said, oh, I left the donuts out on the table. And so they went outside to get the big box of donuts, and Jeff's dog was out there eating the last of them. The last of about 30 donuts.
Sounds like Jeff's dog. So you're my hero because you're going to take the peacocks. So talk to me
that's kind of
about,
interesting.
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about one more thing on your duck club. Tell us about the different kind of birds that are out there.
So there's hundreds of different types of waterfowl out there. A lot of the birds that you'll see swans, you'll see pelicans, you'll see egrets, you'll see great white herons and gray herons, and you'll see everything, all the shorebirds. And then you'll see a variety of about 12 different duck varieties that come through.
Wow.
And then you have your hawks that migrate through every year. And I mean, it's just a vibrant place for
amazing.
Animals. Yeah.
Did you have that many different types when you first started your duck club, or is that something that you've sort of
No,
cultivated?
that's pretty much what's native to this area or migrates to this area. Where our duck club is, there's about 5 that border each other. And then if you'll go about 10 miles north, you'll get by the Kern County Refuge or the state refuge. And there's about 14 duck clubs around there.
Oh, wow.
And that's where Jeff's duck club was at.
Yeah.
Was over there.
You told me where that was.
Refuge. So we're about 10 miles away from that. They do a lot more shooting just because they have that refuge. They're all around that refuge.
Are you considered a big duck club?
Well, I don't know. 320 acres is probably a good size for the duck club that are in the area.
And how many members do you have?
So we bounce back and forth. We try to keep about 12, 14 members, and that kind of makes the budget.
Is it inappropriate for me to ask how much does it cost to be a member?
I mean, when we
Is it
started,
like joining
we
a
were
country club?
$1,500. We're up to $6,000 a member right now.
Ooh,
and that's an annual membership for the full year.
Wow.
And
you ever have people drop out because it's too much money?
Yeah, you'd lose some for that. It's just tough, and we don't. The ownership group doesn't charge anything. We just get our costs, our electricity and our taxes and our pump stuff. We just do that neutral for the duck club, and the duck club puts their budget together just to pay their bills.
Right.
So it's.
Are you the president of the duck club?
Pardon?
Are you the president?
Yes.
How long you been the president? Forever?
No, maybe 10, 12 years.
You have any plans on stepping down from your presidency?
No,
Your Highness.
maybe they don't want me to be around anymore, but no, nobody else
I bet
wants
they
to do
do.
it. So
I bet they do. So the birds. You got all these different kinds of birds. I have a question about one of the birds that you said you have is a chucker.
Yeah.
What is a
it's really
chucker?
called a partridge.
Oh, partridge.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But they're
I know what a
chucker.
partridge is.
Yeah. And not the one that goes in a pear tree around Christmas, but they look kind of
That's what I thought it was. It's not like that.
But really they are that. But they're not native. So if you're going to have those out there, you got to grow them. We buy them 1 day old.
So you buy them as little tiny chicks?
Yeah, little tiny chicks that come in like an egg carton.
Oh my gosh.
Box this big has about 100 in it.
And you put them under, oh really?
And we raise them up till they get old enough, and then we let them go. And
wow, you put them under like under a heater and stuff when you get them?
We have heaters because they need to maintain about 100 degrees for the first 4 or 5 weeks old, and then we graduate them a couple degrees every week until they.
How fast do they grow?
A chucker will mature probably in about 3 months.
Wow, to a full-grown adult bird.
Those pheasants that I was just showing you earlier, they'll take about 5 or 6 months. So,
do you grow your own pheasants, or raise your own pheasants?
We buy them from a company back in North Dakota.
Do they come in little tiny birds?
Yeah, little tiny. Looks like an egg crate, but
my gosh,
but they're boxed like that.
Well, we are running out of time, but can you stay and keep talking to me? I have so many more questions for you. Are you sure? Are you good with that?
Well, you haven't got into your peacock.
I know, that's why we got to talk about that. So we are going to get ready because I'm getting we got to take a break sign. So we'll take a break and we'll see you all at the other side of the break. Hang with us. That's so cool.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's a fairy tale Saturday as the Condors host Princess Night against Ontario. The magical event begins with a princess pizza and crown making party at 5 p.m. You need a special princess pack to attend. It comes with 2 tickets, Little Caesars pizza and crown making. The princesses will then be on the concourse throughout the night for pictures with everyone. Princess Night is presented by the Bakersfield, California. Doors open at 6. The puck drops at 7. Fun starts at just $15 at condorstown.com or by calling 324-PUCK. This is Condorstown.
Hope you join us every Thursday, particularly at 4:30, when Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors joins us. Daniel gives us a weekly update on the deficit and its growth. We look at silver and gold, and obviously the stock market, and all kind of economic issues that most importantly impact you. But again, you guys know what Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors are all about. They're all about retirement. I keep telling you guys, it's one of the smartest moves that I've ever made financially. Call Daniel, 395-9400, 395-9400. If retirement is in your near future, or just tune in Thursdays at 4:30 when he joins us every week. Daniel Petrie, folks at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
Broadcast is for informational purposes only. Does not constitute a solicitation or offer to buy or sell any security, feature, option, or other financial instrument, or to offer or provide any investment advisory or other services to any person in any jurisdiction by Daniel Petrie or MPWA, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrie Wealth Advisors. Any views expressed in this broadcast by us are prepared based on the information available to us at the time, and we are under no obligation to update our views.
Gun safes on sale. TNT Liberty Safes Black Friday sale is happening now all month long. TNT has the Centurion 24 that holds up to 24 long guns for $899, or the USA 50 that holds up to 50 long guns for $1,999. TNT also has many scratch and dents and closeouts in stock while supplies last. Go to TNTLibertySafe.com and check out TNT's Black Friday full lineup of American-made gun safes. Or stop by TNT showroom at 6201 Knudsen Drive, 2 doors north of Hodel's. TNT, saving lives one safe at a time.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Before you hit the road for the holidays, make sure your car is ready for the journey. Kern Oil Change keeps your engine running smooth and your family safe. No appointments needed. Just drive in and their fast, friendly team will get you back on the road in minutes. Don't wait till you're stuck on the side of the road. Stop by Kern Oil Change today and travel with confidence this holiday season. Kern Oil Change has 2 locations to serve you, 3706 Coffee Road and 5650
51 Auburn Street. Kern Oil Change is open 7 days a week. Follow us on Instagram for additional savings.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more, November 25th, Dignity Health Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com and AXS.com. Don't miss this season's most exciting concert experience. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show. You can't trust it? We are welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. This is Teri Goldner sitting in for Ralph today. Thank you very much, Ralph. And we're here with our special guest, my personal hero of the week, Mr. Mark Swain. And we are talking about his duck club that he has, his 320-acre beautiful, beautiful duck club. We have just a little bit of time to talk, but then I want to talk to you after the break because I really want to get into the peacock thing, right? Okay. So what's your favorite thing to do when you are out there in nature at your duck club? If you could spend an entire day doing something that, and you don't have to talk to anybody if you don't want to, you don't have to, you're not like obligated to do anything for anybody. What do you like to do? Sleep? Take a nap?
Well, it's nice when we have water out there.
Okay.
Because if not, it's middle of summertime, it's 110 degrees out there and we're pulling weeds out there. My wife and I've always had a lab, and the dogs just have so much fun. We get out there and let the dog out, and it's just smiling, and it runs over and checks the pheasant pens, and my wife hollers at it, it comes back, then it goes over to the bass pond and jumps in there and chases the bird around, and of course when you get up in the morning to go hunting, that's just amazing. I mean, she's my wife's dog until it's time to go hunting. And
that's so nice.
Yeah, so she'll get up and she just learns what you do. She learns when I get dressed, learns when I put my boots on. She'll stay in bed with Jackie in that trailer until I get my boots on and I grab my gun. Then she comes down, she stands by the door, and she's just ready to go. She jumps on the back of our quad. We ride our quads out, take decoys out.
You get to ride quads out there?
Yeah,
oh my gosh. What fun.
So, yeah, we have side-by-sides and quads out there. So
have you invited Ralph to your duck club?
I've invited him out a number of times.
He needs to get out there. Why? What's his excuse for not being
wild
there?
Animals on for people.
Oh my gosh. I know he doesn't like bears. I've heard him talk about bears, but I mean, he's not afraid of duck. Ralph, if you're listening, are you afraid of ducks?
Yeah, no, he needs to come out. That way he can bring his, what he calls his Michael Jordan out there and practice with it a little bit.
He'll have free reign out there if he wants to do that. Okay, well, we are going to take a break and then we're going to finish with Mark after the end of the break. And thank you, Mark, for staying.
Okay.
And have a great break, everyone. We'll see you on the other side. So the record to ask you this. Let's talk about alternative ministers positions. And then what made you decide to volunteer to take pizza?
This is AM 1180 KERN Greenacres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Bernie Bennett in Washington. President Trump is looking into another international conflict, the brutal civil war in Sudan.
He said he was urged into action by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
Okay.
It was not on my charts to be involved in that. I thought it was just something that was crazy and out of control.
The fighting for control of Sudan has killed more than 40,000 people and created the world's worst humanitarian crisis, with over 14 million people displaced. The president has claimed to have ended several wars since returning to office, and has openly lobbied for the Nobel Peace Prize. Ed Donahue, Washington.
The wives of President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, a former Marine, visited with military personnel, their children, and relatives at Camp Lejeune, the largest Marine Corps base on the East Coast, and Marine Corps Air Station New River. In remarks to troops and families, First Lady Melania Trump says AI is already changing the battlefield, and America's kids must be ready to embrace new technology.
Autonomous helicopters, swarming drones, and recon aircraft are here now. Fighter-less jets and autonomous bombers on the way. To win the AI war, we must train our next generation, for it's America's students who will lead the Marine Corps in the future.
Usha Vance and First Lady Melania Vance thanked the military personnel and their families for possibility of being separated during the holidays. The U.S. trade deficit fell by nearly 24% in August as President Donald Trump's sweeping global tariffs pushed imports lower. U.S. exports blipped up 0.1% in August to $280.8 billion. More news and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Bernie Bennett in Washington.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2341. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2341. That's 800-575-2341. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The one who won't be getting out. I'm Chris Davis. It was a home invasion in 2011, the attempted robbery of a jewelry store that got 38-year-old Umberto Quizar Figueroa sent to prison for 29 years. And Tuesday, the state parole board denied his first try for parole. Quizar Figueroa and his brother planned a robbery, stalking the owner of a jewelry store and his family for 6 days, then busted in on the family, guns drawn, and forced the guy to drive them to the store. Other people who were in the house called police and foiled the plot. The parole board says they're still not satisfied that he's no longer a threat. If you live in an area just south of Rosedale Highway, you might have gotten a pamphlet with a ballot on it. That ballot is whether you want to pay $19 extra on your property taxes every year to keep the street lights going. That already costs about $28 per year, but that is no longer enough to cover what PG&E is charging the county. The votes will all be counted at the January 6th Board of Supervisors meeting. Medical unavailability is the reason lawyer William Charles Wright gave the court for not showing up for 2 planned hearings in his DUI case. He's accused of driving at over twice the legal limit back on December 14th, hitting a highway patrol car at a checkpoint at Callaway Drive and Brimhall Road and hurting an officer. The judge said she'll take that excuse for now, but he'd better get a doctor's excuse to her by next week, which is when the next scheduled hearing is. Megyn Kelly, the host of the Megyn Kelly Show podcast, is coming to Bakersfield tomorrow in place of Charlie Kirk for a sold-out show that also includes conservative commentator Victor Davis Hanson, Charlie Sheen, and a Republican who's running against Governor Gavin Newsom, Steve Hilton. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Ready.
What do you think? This is the Army where you shoot 1 mile away? You got to get up close like this. Little bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call.
Welcome back to the Ralph Bailey.
Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. This is Teri Goldner, and I'm sitting in for Ralph today. And Ralph is listening. I just sent a message to us, and he wanted us to look at the comments on the YouTube thing. And it's like that's on the other side of the table. I gotta look. I gotta look at Mark. Besides, Mark's more fun to talk to than the YouTube thing. But thank you for those who are watching on YouTube. I really appreciate it, and thank you for your comments out there. It's really great. I did read one of the comments, and it was about Mark, and it talked about what a great golfer Mark is, and it was someone that had been to school, went to school with him, but I don't know your name. I just know your YouTube handle, if that's what you call it. So your fame precedes you in golf there. But before we get to golf, let's talk about peacocks. Okay.
There we go.
So I have this huge peacock problem because I started out with 2, and then there were 7, and then they went down to 4. Now they're back up to 8. This one peacock that we have, I named them Betty and Bernie because a boy and a girl, and she's quite fertile. I'm just going to say that she leaves eggs all over the place, and God knows how many she's going to leave with us before I see you again. But now we're up to 8. I can't handle 8 peacocks at my house. They hang out in the front yard. Our dogs are in the back, and the 2 do not meet. And I pick up peacock poop in the morning, and I pick it up in the night, and I'm tired of it. So one day on the Ralph Bailey Show, this wonderful angel of a man called in and said that he would be willing to take the peacocks. So tell us about that, and thank you so much for doing that, Mark.
So we hope not too many people are listening on here, because I don't know how many people that I know that don't want those peacocks out there in my duck club. Well, that's another story. So it's
Well,
funny.
you got 320 acres, right? There's lots of space.
Yeah, I've wanted them out there because I just love to see the nature walk. And my whole vision of that duck club is to be able to drive out there and you just see wild animals running everywhere. You know, that's just kind of a goal of mine. So when you see these big, beautiful peacocks, I used to drive out there to Hart Park and look at them all the time. And I found a ranch out there by the duck club who had a bunch of them, like you, got to 20 or 30 of them, but never were able to catch them. So they said, yeah, you can have all you want, come and catch it. And they were just roaming wild. And when you drive in there a lot, they yak at you and stuff like that. But
they go, wah, wah. So, they kind of sound like cats.
Yeah, and catching chucker, catching pheasant, catching chickens. My wife's got chickens at home. You know, I've been catching birds for a long time. So, so I'm going to have to do some research on you and your place and looking at your birds. And we'll come up with an easy plan.
Come on up. They're always in the front yard.
It's really funny. I YouTube yesterday how to catch peacocks. I mean, I had my own ideas, but I did it for fun. And the second little window popped up and said, things you need to know about peacocks before you get them. And I skipped through that before my wife would see that one.
Did you know that peacocks eat rattlesnakes? I learned
That's good, because we have a lot of snakes. We have a lot of rats. When you have feed and you're feeding birds, you have a lot of those little things around. So it's perfect habitat.
So they'll pay for themselves. That's really good.
They'll have all the rats and mice they want to eat would be perfect.
So my peacocks are all in the front yard. They never leave unless Betty goes off to have more babies, and she goes next door to the backyard of the guy next door, the dentist who lives next door to us, who's very nice, and he lets Betty do her thing over there. So you can come on over to our house, take a look at the peacocks. But what did you find out about how we're going to, I use the imperial we, how we are going to get rid of the peacocks, but really it's you.
So after I visit you, I'll come up with a better plan. But you said you were feeding them. You feed them by hand.
I feed them. I used to just throw out the feed, but now I have little trays for them, like, because they kind of fight with each other.
So
when
I mean, you'll stand right next to them. They're going to walk right up to you.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They do.
Did you ever pin them? I mean, did they come in on their own, or did you buy them?
No, they showed up one day, and the male postal person came up and said, "Oh, I see they landed on your yard." I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "They've been couch surfing. They've been yard surfing around the neighborhood for a week, and they decided that they wanted to hang out at our house, and then they never left."
So have you ever had, are they roosting on barns on your roofs?
They they hang out on the bench right next to our front door. They love that place because they turn around, and instead of looking out towards the yard and towards the street, they turn around and they look right into our dining room.
They're the most beautiful birds
they
ever.
are. So when I wake up in the morning, they're just right there, and they're all staring at me like, feed me. But they're so pretty, and
I can tell you now, we'll have no problem catching them.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think? I mean, how are you going to catch them? What are you going to do?
I mean, if they're coming up to you and you feed them, we have our little chicken sticks that just hook their leg.
Chicken stick.
Yeah.
What's that, like a
hook? Looks like a cane.
Oh, I've never seen that.
And it's got a hook on it. So I mean,
is that painful for the little birds?
No.
You just kind of like grab it.
Once you grab them, you grab their leg, and you grab their leg. Once you grab their legs, they calm down pretty.
They don't squawk and try to get away?
A little bit, yeah. But we could also, I have lots of pens, like dog kennels. You know, maybe 8 foot, 8 foot, 6 foot, 6 foot, open. You could just start feeding them in that.
Nice. That's nice.
Just throw your feet in there.
So those are really big. Those are big
Like a
pens.
dog kennel, yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't
so
have
you could
anything
do
like
that. You can do that, do it for a week, and then all you have is string on that door. As soon as you get 3 of them in there, close the door, and we'll come pick them up. I mean, there's lots of ways we can do that.
Okay, we can. Okay, that'll be good. So I'm happy to do that. We
Yeah.
can put the pens out in the front.
I'll bring some pins out. We'll set something up, and you could just leave both gates open,
Yeah.
so they can go in and out. They're not afraid.
They
And
would
one
like
day
that.
you'll close the back gate, and you're still feeding them. Leave them alone.
They're
And
gonna
one
look
day
at
they're
me.
gonna have a string on that door, and you're gonna get them.
I'm gonna get them.
No,
I'm
you're just
gonna
gonna
get
close the door, and I'll come running.
And then they're gonna look at me and go, "I don't trust you anymore, lady.
I think
You're
we'll
not
have a
so
problem.
nice after all."
I don't think we'll have a problem.
And then, okay, so then you just take them out. They're going to be in their pens, and then you just lift the pens up, put them in the back of the truck.
No, no, I'm talking about a pen bigger than a
bigger
stable,
pen.
big pen.
Oh, okay.
So then we'll get inside and catch them. We'll put them in our dog kennels.
So you're
We'll
you're
get
going to
like
go.
4 or 5 dog kennels.
So how are you going to catch them inside the pen
Oh.
with the little stick thing?
Oh, you just go catch them at that point.
You just like grab your arms
Yeah,
around
just
them.
walk up to them and grab them.
Oh, you know, I've
With
seen
gloves
them.
on and-
I have seen them. You know, they fight over food.
Uh-huh.
And when they fight over food, I mean, it's vicious out there.
Yeah.
It's a tough world.
Mhm.
And their necks can stretch way out, and they will poke you so hard. You have to be
I think we'll
careful.
be okay. You might want to have a camera around because you may want to show
Oh
that.
God, I have to do that. I have to show Ralph, or maybe I should invite Ralph out there to see it when it really happens.
And you live right by a friend of mine that used to raise our pheasants for us.
Oh
Right
really?
there off of Heath Road.
Yeah. Does he raise them for you anymore?
Oh no, he's gone. He was actually one of our baseball coaches, and he passed away about 8 years ago. But he used to raise where you told me your house was.
Yep.
He's right there.
Oh no kidding.
The dirt road cuts off of Heath Road
Uh-huh.
and goes back a little bit. He lived right there.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. You know, I always wondered where the peacock came from, and rumor has it in the neighborhood. I have intentionally not.
You mean like India, or you mean like in your neighborhood?
No, in my neighborhood. These are
See,
Indian,
I've learned India.
These
That's
are
where
Indian.
peacocks
These
come
are
from.
Indian peafowl. They're beautiful. Remember, remember the peacock is the male, and the peahen is the female.
Right.
And of course, the females are not the pretty ones, and the males are the pretty ones. And when they get ready to try to attract a woman, or try to attract a female, not a woman, they put their feathers out and they shake it like this, and they turn around and they do this dance, and it's just kind of
amazing.
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's mesmerizing watching them do that.
I do, and it's like I used to like to go to the zoo, but it's like I feel like sometimes I'm in the zoo when they're looking at me
And they're,
through the dining
and they're
room
looking
table.
at you.
But it's amazing to see animals like that.
Well, almost in the bird world,
Mhm.
all the males are with color. All the
Why is
females
that?
are just plain.
Do you know why that is?
I don't know. Attractive females, I guess. I don't know, but all the females are real bland,
Mhm.
tans and browns. They just don't have any color. All the waterfowl, it's always the males. Pheasants, always the males. The hens are tan, every hen, and all
Well,
the males.
you showed me some pictures of pheasants. Those
Yeah,
are
those are all males.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the hen would look just like a chicken, just tan.
So why do you had a big area there with a lot of them? Why are they all males? Do you raise only
Because
males?
you only shoot males in the wild.
Oh,
So when you
is
hunt,
that a
when you hunt
law?
pheasants, you don't shoot the females. You want them to breed.
Oh,
A male
okay.
can take care of 10 or 15 females. There's no problem.
Okay.
So you only shoot those. And what I do, I donate a hunt every year for a raffle, and they auction it off, and that money goes towards our organization. So then I'll buy some birds from back east. I'll bring them in at one day. Oh, those were last year's
Very
donated
nice.
hunt, and they were within a month of being released.
Okay.
So,
So where you asked me, do I feed the peacocks? I do. I go down to the Roundup on Rosedale Highway
Rosedale, mhm.
and buy a big old thing of it. It doesn't last very long.
no. So what are you feeding them?
I feed them a pheasant food, actually.
We have a wild game feed, and it's got a turkey on it. It's got a pheasant on it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we buy it at Tractor Supply, but yeah, that's the same thing. And then
But I
I
have
have auto
researched
feeders.
that.
So I got these barrels that we fill up, and then I set it for 10 seconds 3 times a day, and it'll spread feed all out.
It
and they'll
doesn't.
eat it.
You don't even have to be there.
No.
Well, I should have bought one of
So
those.
We do that, and we'll do that in the pens for a while, and then we'll get them where they don't want to go anywhere. And then we'll leave their pens open, and we'll move feeders outside, and then we'll build some roosting bars for them so they can roost up in the trees and get away from our predators.
Boy, you have happy birds.
I hope
Very
so.
happy birds.
I
I
hope
know
so.
they're beautiful. The pictures you showed me. So, okay, here we are. We got it. You're coming over. We're doing this. You get the peacocks. They're in the truck. in the back of the truck, right? And you're going to bring the truck over and then you take them to your place and just let them go?
No, because we don't want them to get lost and have any trouble. We're going to put in one of our 30-foot pins.
Ah,
And then we'll put a feeder in there.
Okay.
We'll get them all calm and then we'll let them out. We'll let a couple of them out and leave the rest of them in there.
Very nice.
So these two are always going to want to come back to the other ones.
So we have, okay, this is what I think we have right now. Of the 8 that we have 2 males and 6 females.
Oh, perfect.
Why is that perfect? Oh, because
because too many males together
Yep.
are going to fight too much. But if you had the other way around, you'd have a little bit more of a problem. But I think you'll be fine.
I had a conversation once with Ralph on the show, and it was about peacocks having sex with each other.
Well,
and I was explaining to him, I think he thought it was really weird that what I read was that they don't care if they're related to each other. That doesn't make a bit of difference to them.
And a lot of animals, it does it. It's first generation.
I never knew that. I actually I had to look that up, Mark.
Or humans are the strange ones, I think.
I think you might be right about that. That's pretty funny. So you're gonna keep them out there and kind of gradually.
We'll keep them in pens and make sure they're comfortable, make sure they know where their feed's at, and then we'll figure it out. So I don't want to just turn them loose out there because then they're gonna get lost, and we just need to teach them where their environment's at.
Are there predators out there that might kill them?
So we have coyotes, and every once in a while we'll see a bobcat. Not very often. We have some hawks that come by, skunks, raccoons. So we just need to get these things knowing where they can hide and run, and we'll get it figured out.
Oh, that's so great. Well, the rumor in our neighborhood was that there's, I don't know if it's true or not because I intentionally did not check it out, but I did some legal research on it, that there's a peacock farm like down the road.
Oh,
and
they might have got out.
And we think maybe these were originally escapees from the peacock farm.
Very well could be.
So I had to figure out, like, okay, do they belong to them, or now once they're wild animals, they, whoever finds them gets them. But
they got a leg tag on them. They got.
No, they don't have anything like that. If they did, I would have brought.
They don't have chips in them, so you're probably fine.
I wouldn't know if they have chips in them. Do birds have chips in them? Oh, that's great. So thank you. You have been so wonderful.
Well, that'll be fun. It's something I've always looked forward to doing out there.
I
hope it's my vision of seeing them out there is going to work.
Oh, I want to be out there. I want to be there.
Come out.
That'll be but I want to be there when you come over to the house.
Come out and enjoy a barbecue with us one of these days.
Oh, I would love to do that. That would be wonderful.
Maybe we'll get Ralph out there.
Oh, okay. If I go out there, maybe I can drag Ralph out there.
Yeah.
He can come out there with us. Maybe we can get Chris to come out there. Chris, have you ever been to a duck club?
I have not.
Ooh, do you want to go see a duck club?
I would not be against this.
Yeah.
Did you hear Mark describe what the typical Friday night is out at the duck club?
I did not hear this part, no.
It's fun. It involves alcohol, cigars,
wine,
good food, wine, relaxing, good friends, lots of jokes, fun stories.
Yeah, be a good food. You don't have to sell anymore.
So the difference between
Does that sound great?
The difference between Jeff's Club and our club
is the amount of alcohol.
To go out there on a Friday night and have a blow-up screen watching movies with all the little kids do.
Oh, that's what you do at your duck club?
We've done that a few times. My daughter brought out her big screen.
Wow.
And then we broadcast a film and watch movies with the kids.
That's really cool.
So you are definitely a family-friendly duck club.
Yes.
Very cool. Okay, one last thing on golf. I want to ask about golf. So you've been playing with Ralph for a long, long time, right? When you're a golfer, I have a set of clubs that my husband gave me back when Nancy Lopez was big.
You need to turn those in and get the new one.
So that's like really old. They're still in the garage. They have dust on them. I'm kind of embarrassed to drag them out there to the course, but that's how long ago it was. So I don't know that much about golf, but I hopefully I'll take lessons one day. What do you say? How do you ask a golfer how good a golfer they are?
So you would probably ask him what his handicap is.
What's your What does that mean, handicap?
The golf course design, if you're perfect, you're going to shoot a certain score.
Okay.
Okay.
And every golf course is different?
They're all what we call par 72.
Okay.
Okay. There's some 70s, 71s, and 72s, but typically say par 72. So if you're perfect, you'll make any mistakes, you're going to shoot 72. Rarely, the pros do that. They'll actually shoot better than 72.
Wow.
But the majority, let's just say there was 1,000 golfers in this town.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably 2 that would shoot that.
Ooh.
And there's maybe 1 or 2% that would shoot 82 or less. So then you get to 92 or 100. So I always like to break it up. The two handicappers or less are in the 1 percentile of every
So
golfer
two
out there.
handicappers or less means those are the ones that do the 70.
Yeah, if you're shooting 73, 74,
Oh, okay,
72,
that's what that
71,
means. I never knew
you're in the
that.
1% right there.
Okay.
So
Wow,
yeah.
nobody's that hardly.
So then it jumps up. So then the next group I would say that breaks 80, that shoots under 80, 79 to 72. And there's probably, you're in the 10 or 15% bracket if you do that.
Wow.
And then you go from 90 to 80 if you want to break them up 10 at a time. And that's where Ralph's going to be, a 90 to 80.
A 90 to an 80.
Yeah.
And what is Ralph usually? He's listening now, so he's probably going, no, I got less than that.
I'm going to dig up some good stories on Ralph for you. But
Yeah.
one thing about
I
Ralph.
want some good Ralph stories. We need some
One
good
thing about Ralph,
stories.
he does count all of his shots, and he does play fair. So if he says he shoots what he shoots, he generally did shoot that.
So he doesn't cheat, Ralph? He doesn't cheat at all?
No, we don't let him cheat because we're betting for $10. So we don't.
Very
let him cheat.
good. Do most informal golfers cheat? Do most golfers cheat?
Maybe they don't.
That's a bad question.
It just depends on how you want to set your game up. There's a tree right here, so I'm going to move my ball over here. Some people say, I didn't want to be behind that tree. Some people say, you cheated. You got behind the tree. So
aren't you stuck where your ball sits where it is?
Everybody's game is set up differently. So.
Oh, that's funny. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to say goodbye to you.
Good.
And
Thank
it's
you.
just been wonderful and great. And we'll see you all on the other side of the break.
Thank you.
Mark, it was so fun. I really appreciate
News
you
Talk
being here. Thank you so
96.1
much. That
and
was
AM
great.
1180 KERN.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage California can count on.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Adaptive Networks. Are you a business owner who feel that your IT company just treats you just like another ticket number? Let Adaptive Networks, exceptional customer service isn't just a promise. It's how they do business every single day. And when you call, you're actually talking to a real person who knows your name, understands your business, and genuinely cares about solving your problem. No phone trees, no runaround, no attitude. From the moment you become a client, you'll experience the difference that comes from working with a company that puts customer service first. And no one knows that better than the folks here at American General Media, because we've teamed up with Adaptive Networks. Ready to experience IT support the way it should be? Call Adaptive Networks at 661-241-0638 or visit adaptive-net.com today. Adaptive Networks, where great technology meets even greater customer service.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day. No one can beat us. No one can touch us. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare. We don't care. Take a look our way.
This one says,
Come into Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Carpet Outlet Plus is celebrating 30 years in business by offering you no interest financing for 12 months. Head over to carpetoutletplus.com to apply now. You can get new waterproof flooring and comfy carpet in the bedrooms, all from one trusted place. Over 70,000 customers can't be wrong. It's probably been time to change your floors for a while, so call, click, or stop by today. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Text help for help. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications that are all over the news, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. And if you qualify, you can get medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1s at 80 to 90% savings without insurance, all 100% online.
Wait, I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No long wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes. Zelfie can provide semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, for 80 to 90% less and shipped direct to your door.
Amazing. How do I get started?
Just send them a text.
Text SLIM to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less, 100% online. Don't wait. Text SLIM to 797979 right now for your exclusive offer. Text SLIM to 797979. That's SLIM to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. This is Teri Goldner, and I'm sitting in for Ralph Bailey today. And Ralph, I hope you're still listening, and I want to thank you again so much for letting me come in today. It's been really, really fun. I've enjoyed it a lot. So we have, how much time do I have, Chris?
You have about 3 minutes right here.
3 minutes. Okay, so I'm opening up for questions. If people want to call and ask questions, or people want to text and ask questions, if you have a caller, maybe we should do the caller after the break, because if I need to, I probably want to have follow-up questions. But there was a question that was on the comments that I thought maybe I could talk about right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
The question was, is it legal for ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, to break car windows to make an arrest? The answer is, of course, that always, that one legal question, the one legal answer that you always get, and people hate it, the answer is, it depends. And what does it depend on? It depends on whether somebody is trying to evade arrest, whether they are complying with instructions from law enforcement. If they're not, the answer is yes, ICE can break a car window to make an arrest. That's perfectly legal for ICE to do that. I don't know if that was the answer that you were hoping for, but that is the law. Absolutely. That, ICE, they're federal law enforcement agents. They're subject to the laws, and they are very well trained in that, and they know how to do it.
I do have a second text question here for you.
Oh, yes.
This one says, "Hi, Teresa. My son-in-law and my daughter and my granddaughter is 10 months. They all live with us. But he hasn't worked in over 3 years, doesn't pay rent. Can I just tell him to leave, or do I have to evict him through the courts?"
Well, the answer to that, oh boy, that's probably a pretty common one, more common than you think. The answer to that is you can tell him to leave. And if he doesn't leave, if he doesn't have a lease with you, you can call the sheriff's department, or you can call the Bakersfield Police Department and say, he is no longer welcome in my home. Please take him out of the home. Now, they may or may not do that. And if they say no, then you have to go to court. And you can get an order from the court by way of an injunction, which is an order from the court to stay away. And you can get an injunction to keep him, to get him to leave the house and stay away from the house. And typically you can do that if there's any issue of violence or anything like that. You can get that on a pretty much a 24, 48-hour notice. Otherwise, you have to notice it up for a hearing. And typically you can go to a hearing in about 5 days, and then you can have a full hearing about 2 weeks later, and you can get an injunction order in effect that stays in effect for a pretty long time, and that ought to protect you. I hope that helps, and please send in your other questions or call in. I love the phone calls. After the break, we'll see you on the other side.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Well, that's our news. I'm Bernie Bennett. U.S. Representative Sheila Surfalis McCormick of Florida has been indicted on charges accusing her of stealing federal disaster funds and using the money to aid her 2021 campaign. The Justice Department said Wednesday the Democrat is accused of stealing Federal Emergency Management Agency funds that her family's healthcare company had received through a federally funded COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract. Federal prosecutors said today some of the money was then used to fund her campaign through candidate contributions, prosecutors say. A phone message left on her Washington office was not immediately returned. 5 accused of supporting Antifa pled guilty to terrorism-related offenses after a Texas shooting. The charges brought by the Justice Department followed President Trump signing an order that designated the the decentralized movement known as Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization. This is SRN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. If you want to learn more about the proposed water park resort called Tortuga Bay Resort, planned for Hagman Road and Mohawk Street, you may be hearing more about that soon. The Bakersfield City Council plans to discuss that proposal this evening. If you live south of Rosedale Highway, you have a choice to make. $19 extra every year on your property taxes could mean the street lights stay on. The county is letting residents decide because PG&E is charging more, and the $28 you are already paying every year is not enough. Megyn Kelly is joined by actor Charlie Sheen and Republican candidate for Governor Steve Hilton at an event tomorrow in Bakersfield. Kelly replaces Charlie Kirk on the bill. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The annual enrollment period for Medicare is here. That means that it is time for you to select your Medicare plan for 2026. This annual enrollment period, choose a name you already trust. Select Kern Family Healthcare Medicare, D-SNP, a new option for people who have both Medicare and Medi-Cal. For over 29 years, Kern Family Healthcare has been a trusted name in Medi-Cal. Now, we're here to support your Medicare journey too. Call 1-866-661-3767. Again, that's 1-866-661-3767. Or visit www.kernfamilyhealthcare.com/Medicare to learn more and enroll. Start your Medicare journey with local care you trust. Choose Kern Family Healthcare. Kern Family Healthcare Medicare is an HMO D-SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the California Medicaid program. Enrollment in Kern Family Healthcare Medicare HMO D-SNP depends on contract renewal.
Come see what's growing at Bowles Nursery, 3255 Allen Road. Bowles Nursery is a full-service nursery and landscaping company, including irrigation installation and repair. If you're currently not getting the water coverage you need to maintain a beautiful yard, come see Bowles Nursery and talk to them about it. While you're there, check out the huge selection of pottery, bulk materials, shade trees, fruit trees, and more. Did you know that right now is the very best time to plant? Come out to Bowles Nursery and take advantage of the everyday savings throughout the nursery. 3255 Allen Road on the corner of Allen and Meacham. Bowles Nursery also carries exquisite water features and one of the largest selections of succulents around. Come see why Bowles Nursery is one of Bakersfield's largest and most fully stocked nurseries in town. 3255 Allen Road, just off the corner of Meacham. For more information, look them up on Facebook or check them out on the web at bowlesnursery.com.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. November 25th, Dignity Health Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com and axs.com. Don't miss this season's most exciting concert experience. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. This is Teri Goldner sitting in for Ralph today, and it's been a really fun day. We're coming up on our last part of the day. We have about 20 minutes left, 25 minutes left, so let's make it fun. Do we have any callers on the line? Or
I do.
Anybody?
I have one for you right now.
Thank you.
We got Dave on the line.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Hi, Teresa.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I really loved your segment with the baseball player.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Jeff, did he go to West High?
He did. His name is Jeff Doyle, Doyle, and he.
No.
Yes. Do you know Jeff?
I played ball with Jeff Doyle.
Oh my goodness. What's your last name, Dave, if you don't mind?
Delgado.
He talked about you, Dave. He did. And you know what I asked him? I asked him a question about was he the MVP when he was at West High School? And he said he wasn't a very good player. Well, he said he wasn't as good as I kind of said he was being humble. He said he wasn't a good player at West High, and you were the MVP, Mr. Delgado, and he said that he voted for you because you deserved it. How do you like that? What a gem, huh?
I appreciate. I thought it was Jeff when you started talking about Coca-Cola, and then how he grew up with Greg Holland. I played baseball and football with both Greg and Jeff at West High.
Oh my gosh, what a small world it is. Wow.
And I've always thought about that. What was your maiden name at West?
My maiden name was Lalui, but I only went to West High School like the last semester of my junior year and then my senior year. So you were in the class of 1974?
Correct.
So I didn't really know anybody in your class because your class had already graduated for the most part by the time I went to school there very much. So that's why I never met Jeff.
Was there an Edley Louie?
Yeah, that's my big brother.
Oh my God, we played sports together.
Oh, as freshmen probably.
Yeah, just different times. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Yeah, and Greg, has done so well over the years. And I've often thought when he talks to you about your West High experience, I thought, I bet you we played in the same dirt.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yes, Greg Holland is a wonderful person, and he is a real estate. Is he a real estate broker or agent or both? I'm not sure if you can be both, but he's very successful.
He does really well. I've run into him on a couple of different occasions, and we battled each other because he was a defensive back and I was a wide receiver. And Jeff pitched and I caught. And do you remember Benny Maytubby?
I do remember Benny Maytubby because Benny Maytubby was Jeff's roommate at San Diego State University when I met Jeff. So I remember Benny.
Yeah, no, I talk to Benny occasionally. We still keep in contact. He lives in Texas.
Wow.
And he's quite the golfer.
Wow. Well, if you would like to have Jeff's contact information, I'm sure he would want to hear from you because he speaks very highly of you. And if you would like his contact information, if you would leave it with Chris, the person who answered the phone here, I'm happy to pass that on to him.
Yeah, I'm a regular caller. I go by the name Daily Dave, and I call in.
Oh, Daily Dave.
Mostly about sports, but I like to help support the Honor Flight, and I try to play in this golf tournament annually. And
that's wonderful.
But now,
Are you you still do sports?
Oh yeah, I play pickleball daily.
Pickleball is really popular.
Yes, and I've run into people from West High at pickleball. Robin Hodson.
Yes.
And she's and there's so many people from Bakersfield that like graduate in my time that went to Highland or BHS, and we start talking. It's just an amazing place to meet people. And
where do you play pickleball?
I play at Green Acres.
Okay. And how often do you play?
Daily. That's why I'm Daily Dave.
It's because of the pickleball. It's not because you call into Ralph every day.
No, that too. But I love to coach and teach. And I'm the guy in the Hawaiian shirt, and you just ask for Dave or David in the Hawaiian shirt. I'm always out there playing. And
well, thank you.
Like that.
And Dave, what did you end up doing after high school? What did you do what kind of career did you have?
I wound up working for Arrowhead Water.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And then I worked for Sparkletts Water, and then wound up marrying a beautiful lady from New York, and we opened a business in 2001.
Here in Bakersfield?
Yeah.
Is it still going?
No, we got to sell it a couple of years ago, and I've been retired, and I play a lot more pickleball than golf. I used to play golf three to four times a week.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you were an excellent athlete in school.
I enjoy it, and that's the thing now. When I go out there and play pickleball, I come home, I'm like, did I win a game today or did I lose? I just had joy. I just have fun. And that's the way I feel about it. I have so many friends out there and people that I've met, and I just like to help people enjoy playing pickleball. If you were ever to come out there and look me up, I would, I just show I just keep it real simple, and show a couple quick things about pickleball. And my enjoyment is when somebody comes back and they can beat me. I say, because I always tell them, you're younger than me, you're stronger than me, you're going to beat me, and I'm going to show you a couple of tricks, and that's when I get the enjoyment. And
that's great.
I had a feeling that there was a really close connection. And once the caller said that he knew Greg from sixth grade, I said, I think that's Jeff Doyle.
It is. That's so fun. How wonderful for you to call in like that. I really appreciate it. You know,
And Jeff,
David, I have a question for you, Mr. Delgado.
Yeah.
Your 50th high school reunion was done at the same time in the same place in the same event as mine. 74 and 75 classes of West High School, and it was about 2 months ago, I think. Did you go?
I was unable to make it.
Oh, that's too bad. But do you know what they did at that reunion? One of the things they did was they had a pickleball tournament.
Oh.
They had a pickleball tournament on the Friday night before the Saturday night reunion, and I understand that quite a few people showed up. Maureen Andrew was the one who put it together. And
I know Maureen. I've seen her at the pickleball courts.
Maureen Andrew is my best friend.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
We've been friends since freshman in high school, or no, actually junior in high school. Excuse me, long time.
Yeah.
And she's a really good athlete. She also is I believe she's is either the or a tennis coach for the women's team at Highland High School. And
she's a very good athlete. I played with her and against her, and part of her family has come out there. It's such a family-oriented event.
Does she beat you at pickleball, Dave?
She probably has. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if I've lost a game to her. Like I said, I come home sometimes. I'm like, did I win a game or lose a game today? It doesn't matter. It's you carry the shock with you. But I want to tell you something about Jeff Doyle. Real quick story.
I would love to hear a Jeff Doyle story.
I wrote in his yearbook because I had the feeling that he was going to be a pro baseball player. And I said, one day I'm going to bring a bunch of little Mexicans. We're going to be sitting up in the Dodger Stadium yelling, Jeff, Jeff. And you're going to see a little Mexican family up there, Doyle, cheering him on that he would be a Dodger or a big leaguer,
Yeah.
He left-hander, great arm, one of the smoothest baseball swings you could ever see. And him and Ben Maytubby, great athletes. And I had the honor and the privilege of playing ball with Benny and Jeff and Greg Hall and that whole crew at Westside. We had great coaches, and what an experience I had.
Well, that is really kind of you to say that about him. I know that he will appreciate it. Do you mind if I tell him what you said? Or I'll just tell him to watch this on YouTube and he can hear you say it.
Tell him what I said. I remember writing that down in the yearbook or telling him, that that was always my aspirations to play pro ball. And I had some opportunities to play college ball and stuff.
Did you play college ball?
I played college ball. I played fast pitch softball in town, co-ed volleyball, float. I mean, I just like to play athletics.
So I'm confused about something, Dave.
What?
So Jeff said that you were the most valuable player on the team, and that's why he voted. That's why he voted for you. But you said that you always thought, you wrote in his yearbook that you figured that he was going to turn pro one day. So tell me, first of all, were you the best player on the team?
We both, Jeff and I and Benny and who else? Benny and Chuck Holloway, we all made All-City, All-League in 1974. And so we had a good group, and North High was the powerhouse. But yeah, we all, and then I played with Jeff. Jeff was an A-grade football player, and we played on that very first championship football team in 1973 at West High.
Oh my. Well, can you tell me what was it about him when he was at West High School that made you think back then that he would become a professional baseball player? And I'm talking about Jeff Doyle.
He had a strong arm. He could pitch fast. He could throw people out from center field. He could throw from center field all the way to home plate. He hit with power. He ran the bases with speed. I mean, he turned a lot of singles into doubles. He was just a strong athlete.
Wow.
And, Jeff, and we got to play together. We played football together and baseball and that whole group, from Coach Gavitas on freshman and Dave Tisworth, and then Coach Lanningham, and he mentioned Lanningham, I said, "Yep, I think that's Jeff." And what a wonderful segment you had about him. He's a good guy.
Oh, thank you. I think he is too, and I just thought it would be really interesting if he would be willing to share his story with us, because I think it's a really good one, and there's a lot of things in there that are very interesting. Did you hear the story about how he cracked I guess he's such a strong hitter that he cracked the Pepsi sign in was it Coca-Cola or Pepsi sign? I think, what was it, Chris? Did he say Coke?
It was Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola
The
sign.
San Jose tournament.
Yeah.
I believe it.
How do you crack it? How do you do that? I mean, you must be really strong.
He's a strong person. I mean, he was the prototypical athlete, because I was like 5'9", 160 pounds. He was like 6 foot, 185. He's just bigger and stronger. And but in baseball, you don't have to be tall, to play. And but I think Greg Holland might have got the most valuable player our senior year.
And what position did Greg Holland play?
Greg was our shortstop.
Oh, okay. Okay. Very good.
Yeah, Jeff played center field and Jeff played first base.
Wow, that's so interesting. That's I think Greg Holland might have been listening to the show today, because I did call him and tell him about it, because I thought he might want to listen to Jeff.
No, Greg was a great athlete. He was our shortstop all the way up. He played quarterback and defensive back, and all those guys, Benny, Jeff, Greg, all those guys from West High. The names could go on forever. They all contributed to us being the very first championship football team in school history. In fact, in 72 and 73, those guys all went up to BC and went to 4-year colleges. They called us the no names.
The no names. Why?
We were the no names. Yeah, we were we were like second grade to these great athletes. You know what I'm saying? We were like the little kids to the big boys. They were all Kevin Sneed. They all went to BC and then they went on to play at 4-year colleges. We were just regular little athletes, but we played as a team and we won together.
Sounds to me like you showed them what counts, huh?
Well, I just feel privileged to have the opportunity to be a West High graduate, to get an opportunity to play for, Grider and Tucker and Rowe and Butcher, all the great coaches we had. Coach Wren in track. It was just a great opportunity, and I just feel blessed that we got to.
Dave, I am so glad that you called in. I'm so glad that you listened to the show today, and I'm so glad that you hopefully got to learn more about what Jeff has done since then, and kind of just hopefully maybe you guys can reconnect. I think that might be a nice thing. I think that all you guys that you talked about, all the names you talked about, you need to have a Bakersfield reunion. Maybe you should plan one. What do you think?
We'll probably get together. Yeah, I get to see a lot of people at pickleball, and it's fun out there. But no, and if you ever do come out there, look me up. And I play on Truxton too, or Beale, but I play mostly at the Green Acres. And I'll be glad to show you just a few things about the game. And I'm just a big promoter of it. I love it, and I don't charge. I've never charged for a.
I'm a former tennis player. That's what I used to play in high school.
Then you're a perfect candidate for pickleball.
I don't know about that. I am not quite the athlete that I was back in high school. That's an understatement.
None of us are. But the thing is, it's a quick learn, and people that never played ping pong or badminton or racquetball or tennis, it's a quick learn, and they just enjoy it. And I just love to go out there and play and have fun. And
do you have to be super athletic to play pickleball?
No, I tell guys that bring their wives out there, and they're like, "My wife wants to learn how to play." And I go, "Well, tell me about it." He goes, "Well, she can hardly walk and chew bubble gum at the same time."
Oh, that's a nice thing to say about your wife.
And I'm like, "Don't worry about it." And then before you know it, I'm like, they're like, What'd you tell my wife?" I'm like, "No." She goes, "She can darn near beat me." I'm like, "Yeah, you don't ever underestimate somebody that wants to put the time in to learn an athletic event."
That's true. Well, Dave, wow. Thanks for calling in. This has been really fun. Okay, you need to set a reunion like within the next 60 days. How's that?
I will try to put something together and get to it. And I'll call Ben this week. I talked to him last week, and we talk every couple months or so. And he always tells me, "Come down to Texas and play me in golf because I'm going to take all your money." You know, he's quite the player. But we joke about it. But no, it's athletics has been my life since I was 10, and here I am almost 70, and I just want to keep playing. And there's people out there that are 80, 70, 60. And I like it when the young kids come out that are 35 and 40 and I get to play with them. And it's a challenge, but it's fun.
Well, you sound like you're inspiring the next generation, and that's a really good thing. Thank you for calling in, Dave. You know, you're kind of like my last segment today. It's been really fun talking to you for so long.
No, thank you. I imagine that like I said, I think we played in the same dirt over there at West High, and
absolutely.
I've been looking forward to reaching out to you. And you had a great segment, and good luck with your peacocks.
Thank you very much, Dave, and hopefully we will talk again.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. We are going to take a break. Are we going to come back after the break for a little bit? Okay, we're going to take a break right now. We will see you on the other side.
6.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Thursday's Armstrong and Getty show. NVIDIA's quarterly earnings will be out, and that'll be a huge indicator of whether this is an AI bubble.
And there's no genocide going on in Gaza, but there are a couple in Africa, plus total change of mood. If you had to stuff parakeets into your underpants, how many do you think you could get in there? 4? We'll answer, 4, please. We'll answer that question next Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Got battery issues? Choose the #1 name in power, A1 Battery. We've got you covered with top quality batteries for every need. Cars, scooters, motorhomes, garage door openers, key fobs, golf carts, home alarm systems, wheelchairs, and so much more. If it takes a battery, A1 Battery has it. With multiple locations to serve you. Enjoy free diagnostics on batteries, starters, alternators, and electrical systems. Plus, get free installation with any purchase. First Friday of each month is free Key Fob Battery Friday. Family owned and operated since 1960. A1 Battery has been providing reliable, friendly service to Kern County. Need us in a pinch? We offer emergency services to make sure you're never stranded. Tell us you heard it on the radio and get 10% off your purchase. Call A1 Battery today, 589-1433 for the location nearest you, or visit online at a1batterycompany.com. A1 Battery, powering your world, one battery at a time.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need Downy Rinse tonight, and I need it more. My kick was the bed and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark. The sweat and dead short smells like a dog. Downy Rinse tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage California can count on.
Trucordia, a new name, but a trusted partner for Kern County businesses. With more than 100 years of combined experience, Trucordia delivers cost-saving strategies, risk-reducing solutions, and easy online tools to simplify benefits management. Trucordia goes beyond health benefits, helping your business thrive. Call Trucordia today at 661-401-2280. Trucordia, building trust, creating harmony, protecting Kern County businesses. Trucordia, 661-401-2280.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Welcome back to the Ralph Bailey Show. This is Teri Goldner sitting in for Ralph. We just have a few minutes left. I want to thank all of the listeners for sticking with me today and making this a fun time for me. I have to confess that I was pretty nervous when it first started, kind of scared, but you guys really made it fun. And for the gang, the team that is on YouTube and doing comments, thank you for all your nice comments. That's really sweet of you. And I loved your comments. It was terrific. I keep commenting. I want to thank all of our guests today. First, I want to really thank Jeff Doyle. I want to give him a huge thank you because he took time out of his busy schedule to be here today and kind of think back on his life and try to, tell his story to his hometown, basically, which is Bakersfield. And it's always an interesting story, and he's a wonderful person, as Dave Delgado said. And so I just want to thank him, and I want him to know that even though you don't live in Bakersfield anymore, Jeff, you do have friends here, friends that care about you. And, once you're from Bakersfield, you're kind of always from Bakersfield. I don't think you ever really get rid of all the Bakersfield in you. I want to thank Dave Delgado for commenting on Jeff. That was really, really nice. And I appreciated my segment with you, Dave. I also want to thank Howard Marcus. Howard, it was great to meet you on the radio. I look forward to meeting you in person one day. You have wonderful stories. I feel like we just touched a little tiny bit of it. So we have a lot more that we can talk about. I know we can. We were feds together, so we got a lot in common, sort of. And then I want to thank my personal hero, Mark Swaim. Mark, you are just amazing. You were so much fun to talk to. I extended the time with you because I think you are just so interesting, and that you know so much stuff. You know a lot about a lot. You don't know a little about a lot. You know a lot about a lot, and you were just a wonderful guest. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you, everybody. How much time do we have left,
We got
Script?
about 2 minutes.
2 minutes. What should I talk about in my 2 minutes? Let's see. I just want to say, I want to thank Ralph Bailey. Ralph, you asked me to do this yesterday, and I thought about 2 seconds before I said yes. And then I thought about 2 hours after that, why did I say yes? Because, my experience is that it takes a long time to get ready for a show. And so this was a pretty quick get ready time. And it was really fun. I just had a great time. Thank you for your faith in me, Ralph. I told you that I would do my best to try, right?
You did a fantastic
I told,
job.
thank you. I told you I would do my best to make you proud, Ralph. So I hope that I did, because you always make us proud and you have a great show. And it really was an honor and a privilege to be part of your show. And I want to thank Chris, our wonderful producer, who was so kind to me when I wrote down the wrong phone number for Jeff Doyle.
It's okay.
And he was trying to
I
get a
got
hold of him.
somebody in that area has
Oh,
a
my
weird
God.
voice calling, a voice message from me.
Yeah, we'll see. So, thank you for handling that. I was like, oh my God, I lost my first guest, but that's okay. You're just so cool and calm under pressure, Chris. I don't know how you do that. You are just amazing.
Years of practice. I'm going to deal with Ralph Bailey and Scott Cox, and yeah.
There you go. You know how to do it. You're a pro just like them. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you on Tuesdays. Thank you. Bye-bye.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Where the hell are you?
With roughly 31 million expected to fly over
Was he cool
Thanksgiving,
about it?
airlines and air travel are still recovering from the shutdown. Candace